Hello.
Good evening.
Howdy. Happy Friday the 13th.
Oh, that's right.
Hi, everyone. Who are we waiting on?
Doug is getting us water, so he'll be here in a bit. We also very badly timed dinner, so just be prepared that we will probably be eating pizza during some of this.
Okay.
But I promise to turn off the camera.
You don't have to turn off the camera, but don't like lean into the microphone when you're chewing.
Oh no, I will definitely be doing that.
Oh
That
no,
one
yeah,
is
that's we
non-negotiable.
want to hear that.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna.
that one
I'm going to punish you in game.
you'd kill my character.
If you are making wet smacking sounds into the microphone, you will be rolling everything with disadvantage.
This feels like abuse. This is abuse by the DM.
It's for
It's not fair.
it's for the well-being of the group.
No, it's not fair. Honestly, nobody wants this, Kate.
Everybody wants to hear you making wet smacking sounds into the.
I took an unofficial poll, and the answer was yes.
Okay. What about Nikki? Where's Nikki?
She will be delayed by a miniature terrorist.
Oh, okay. Should we start without her, or should we just wait?
Yeah, she'll catch up.
Okay. So we'll wait for Doug though. Anyway. Who took notes last time?
Abby.
Was that you? Cool. Did someone want to volunteer to take notes this time?
I can take notes.
Okay, cool.
So can I ask what's the purpose of taking notes?
So, well, to be honest, and this is maybe something I should have told you in advance because you're a new D&D player. It can be helpful to like it. It's helpful if one person takes notes for sure, because then they'll just like do a recap. So Abby will give us all a recap at the end of the session, and also I can kind of double check, like if there's something wrong or something that was misunderstood, I can do that. I will say that after like 5 or 6 sessions of D&D, and it might not be as applicable to a one-shot, although this baby has lore in it, so maybe. But it can be helpful for you to know where you are, because like you know, things that your character would remember happening, you probably won't remember as like
it'll be like a name of a NPC that's like super important, and you're just like, I couldn't tell you for the life of me who that person is. Like,
right. Or it'll be like the like political group. I kept forgetting the name of the political group that like was like definitely oppressing us and is like a huge deal. And I was like, okay, I gotta start taking notes. I just walk into this town and like pass through on vibes only and just refuse to learn anything about my surroundings. Like, it can be helpful to take notes. So sometimes for me, like for DMing, what I find myself doing more often is like kind of taking notes, like mostly afterwards when it's fresh in my mind. So you don't have to like kill yourself taking notes, but some people don't take any at all. I don't know. It's not necessary, I guess.
If you're playing a really dumb character, it works out very well, but otherwise it's a bad idea.
Yeah, that is true. Or just like a character who's uninterested in the world around them, or maybe has like a one-track mind. So that's Doug here. Gloria is not here. Waiting for Gloria.
No, I don't know where he went again. I'm sorry. He was here and then he disappeared again.
He brought the pizza.
Oh, there we go. He's back now. Thank you. Thank you. I am whiny about my legs. I did a really hard workout, Doug. I think Doug's joining here.
Oh, Gloria's back. Okay, everyone is here except for Nikki, who's not going to be here for a second, which is okay. Abby, would you like to give us the recap?
Yes. Okay, so at the start of the episode last time, we had a mysterious storm that crashed into the Leewit and a fishing boat, and it sunk them both. And some of us were on the boat, some of us were just like passerby, but we all wake up in an underwater facility and we don't really know what the heck is going on. And then we got introductions to a bunch of characters. So we had
Doug, you gotta mute. We can hear double.
Sorry.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Yes. Okay, so we wake up and we get a bunch of character introductions. So Ting is a Kenku who is played by Nikki. Damikos is a tiefling rogue, and that's Doug. Then we have Tweedly, that's Mom, who's a gnome. Donatello is another dragonborn who looks like he needs to get a tan. And we wake up in this room that has a bunch of like scared fish with signs being like, don't touch the fish and don't feed the fish. And then we see that there is a Triton who's played by Gloria named Coriolanus. That's right, isn't it? And they're on the other side of the room. And finally, we finish up the party by watching out with Isabeau, who's a high elf that plays by Channing, and then there's a PhD student that's with her, and they're part of just the facility in general. And Tabitha tells us not to touch anything, which obviously doesn't go super well. We get introduced to Pump 6, who's a coral golem, who's very cute, but also very terrifying. And Tabitha tells us that Coriolanus rescued us, but we're essentially stuck here for 6 to 8 weeks because the only way to exit is damaged. So shenanigans ensue. I have a panic attack. Ting tries to like comfort me. It doesn't go well. We find out about the crying room, which is like the place where we can all like decompress and presumably cry a bunch. We find out that Tabitha and Isabeau definitely have some beef. Like there's something going on. They do not get along super well. Let's see here. Tabitha is super charmed by Coriolanus. Like she really likes his abs, like a big amount, like a bunch. And so they bond like a great deal. Donatello manages to just like get out and leave all of us behind, and he goes into the mess hall. He runs into some other people in the group, and one of them seems to be a drow who's trying to pretend he's not, so that's cool. And then we get like this insane like explosion, and these Sahu what is it again, Kate? Sahuagins? Sahuagins. Okay, so 3 Sahuagins break in, and we have like a pretty epic battle with there's 2 like little ones and then a big female, and we finally managed to defeat them after like a lot of battling. But the floodgates get damaged in the prospect, and Tabitha tells us we have to go get Dr. Ferris. So when we finished the episode up, we were like, we really need to get Dr. Ferris because we don't know what the fuck is going on. Also, Donatello's a dick, so that's important.
Okay, for the sake of there were a couple of side sort of conversations that happened. So for the sake of brevity, we'll just say that people were kind of starting to move towards the library. Let me actually go ahead and drop the map of the larger facility in here. Once again, so everyone can look at it. This is not like necessarily one of those things that you would always do where you just let everyone see everything, but I don't know, assume that it's like, I don't know, this is maybe one of those facilities that have like a little map on the walls to help you get around, like in a mall. So you guys can kind of look at that and have that open for reference.
Is it an interactive mall map where you click on like a button and it's like shows you where your store is?
No, Abby, it's not an interactive mall map. It's
Wow.
a piece of paper that I painted on super quickly.
That's a big step down. I'm just saying that maybe you should think about it for next time. So.
I don't know how to do that.
I was at a map. I was at Tyson's Corner the other day, and I'm just saying they had one of those really cool touch things. And all you do is say like, I would like to go to the Gap, and you just press the button. And this is really lacking in comparison. So I thought you should know that.
Roll with disadvantage just for the rest of
God
it.
This is abuse.
I'm just kidding. Okay, so for the sake of brevity, people are kind of milling around. I want to note for the record that there's still 3 Sahuagin bodies just dripping ichor everywhere. And they're like, one of them has been slashed in half, anime style. And so there's 2 pieces of it lying out. That place is really gross. It's also a small confined chamber. So like, yeah, it's gross. It smells really, really bad. You guys are kind of milling about before you head to Dr. Ferris. Tabitha is in the crying corner trying to escape pump 6. I believe that really briefly, Anara, you had something that you wanted to do really quickly before you guys headed to go talk to Dr. Ferris.
Okay. So I know Donatello said that they were like striding up like up to the mess hall, but I'm gonna like go and catch up to them and like put my hand like roughly on their shoulder and try to like, you know, get their attention essentially.
Can I do something for you?
I like hiss at you in Draconic. What kind of motherfuckers raised you, you barbarian?
Well, somewhere between my parents and the drow
You know what?
who
I don't
enslaved
care.
us.
I don't care. It is like 101 in Dragonborn culture that you do not just use your breath attack to attack other people. You are like this
Guilty.
Like, pretty
I know
fucking
nothing about
standard.
Dragonborn culture. I've spent precisely no time amongst them.
What? That doesn't make any sense.
I visited them once after I escaped the drow, and I didn't quite fit in, so I left.
The what?
My family were enslaved. I grew up. They were all killed. I escaped, and now I'm on my own. And yeah, it's me against everybody else. Sorry. Take it kind of personally.
Look, nobody here is gonna try to hurt you. We're all pretty I don't know about the rest of these people. I come from civilization. We don't just attack people for no reason. We're all trying to like get out of here in the same way. So it doesn't help if you're just going to go around indiscriminately throwing poison attacks everywhere. All you're going to do is hurt the rest of us.
I'll try to be a little more discriminating next time.
I narrow my eyes. Good. Think about that next time.
Is there anything else on your mind?
No.
Care to join me for coffee? I asked someone to make some.
I am kind of thirsty.
Well, great. It should be just about done by now. And I turn and head towards the mess hall.
Okay, so we're splitting the party again. You guys
No,
are,
My character gives 0 shits. I'm sorry.
I guess you know what? No, I did.
I'm gonna
No, I didn't realize. I'm gonna turn around and be like, wait.
They can
this
come
isn't-
too, if you'd like.
No, I'm gonna turn around and be like, wait, that's not where we need to go find Dr. Ferris. Come, no, you can't get coffee right now. I grab your shoulder and I'm like, go. We need to figure out what's going on with this floodgates.
Fine, so long as we get coffee afterwards.
Sure, we can get coffee afterwards.
Great.
Okay. Does anyone else have anything that they want to do or say or talk to?
Where are we? I'm sorry. Where are we right now?
Okay, so you are in the laboratory with where you were fighting earlier, where all the dead Sahuagin bodies are.
And Tabitha's in the crying room?
Yeah, she is.
Well, I'd like to go talk to Tabitha.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, are you going by yourself? Is anyone else going with you?
I'll ask. I'm going to go talk to Tabitha and see if she needs anything from us before we go look for Dr. What's-his-face. Anybody want to join me?
Tabitha's the one I seduced, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I should probably go say hi to Tabitha.
I feel like it's
Well-
it's like extra canon that you can't even remember who you seduced because you're just like you've like forgotten because you seduced too many people.
Is that another one of those women? that I seduced?
Cordelinus has many women. All right, Cordelinus, let's go talk to Tabitha. Let's go
Okay.
together.
Okay, so you guys make your way across the pile of dead Sahuagin bodies. You make your way down into the small globe-like room known as the Crying Corner. Pump 6 is standing in front of it, looking at Tabitha sternly, saying, "Only crying corner. Only crying corner." She's yelling so loud. It is not soothing. And Tabitha is just staring at her blankly and with hatred. She's calmed down significantly, but she's just waiting for this to be over. What do you guys do? Pump 6's back is towards the two of you.
So I'm going to tap on Pump 6 back because I'm too short to touch his shoulder or her shoulder. So I'm going to just poke on the.
Can you reach the back, or do you end up touching the butt?
Well, maybe the butt. Well, maybe let's do the leg. Let's not infuriate Pump 6. Let's not touch any butts.
Okay, so
You're not going to try to seduce Pump 6?
No, I'm not interested in seducing Pump 6.
Or leading her away so that I can get Tabitha.
No, that really wasn't my plan.
Okay. Roll me a strength check because you're so small, and Pump 6 is huge and made of hard bits of things.
Oh, 23, dear.
Okay, all right. You actually tap Pump 6 so hard that what you end up doing is, you know that thing that people would do in elementary school or middle school where they come up behind your knee and just go boom right at the knee? You actually send Pump 6 just boom down to the ground. And you quickly realize one of the very major combat problems with Pump 6, that she is now lying on the ground. She's extremely top heavy, and she is scrambling kind of like a beetle to try to get herself up wordlessly. She doesn't have a phrase for this. And Tabitha looks at you in horror and raises her hands and goes, "Oh my God, oh my God."
Okay, so then I say, "Fair Tabitha, your beauty radiates despite your fear. Be calm, fair Tabitha. Be calm."
Make me a persuasion check. Make me just a persuasion check.
Okay, just give me a second. Sorry. Okay, so 13 plus 19.
Okay. She looks at you and her eyes just sort of travel down from your face to your abs. And you can really see her fixating on them as she goes. It's very soothing to her.
I mean, I work out.
She's like, I can tell that. I mean, how many times a day? What is it that you're doing for? Is it like the reverse crunches? Do the incline crunches, or it's just water resistance? How do you make them so? How are they like that?
It starts with diet and a lot of positive thoughts. It's really about strength of character. And then I like to just fling whales just far away. And that kind of makes my biceps strong. And it's, we should try it one day. Not a lot of people can fling whales like I can, but.
Oh my God, I would love to see you. I'd love to see you fling a whale. She's completely forgotten that Tweedly is in the room.
I was going to say, it's a good time for me to interrupt this. So Coriolanus and Tabitha, please allow me to interrupt for just a moment. Tabitha, we've made quite the mess in your little laboratory here. We've tapped on your screens. We've caused a lot of disruption. Is there anything we can do to help straighten things out before we head off and look for someone to help with the vapor lock?
Make me, I guess I'm going to say just like a flat charisma roll.
17.
Oh, that's pretty good. You see that the look of distaste that she was sort of fixing you with, upon you just distracting her from Coriolanus's abs, sort of fades. And she goes, I mean, it is nice to ask. And listen, I am sorry about how everything happened in here, and I'm sorry that I couldn't have been more useful. You know, I just need people not to touch things. You guys might have to be in here for a really long time, and some of your friends seem really unruly. Have you noticed that?
Well, I would say curious is probably more the answer to that question. Maybe you would help if we had some context of what these cuttlefish are for.
What they're for?
Yes, are they for food? Are they for research? Are they for entertainment? What touching the cuttlefish?
They're for research. It's a research facility where we are attempting to study the cuttlefish. This is Dr. Ferris's laboratory. This is his major grant funding. We got the funding to refurbish this facility so that he could study his cuttlefish. And currently the problem with them is that we are trying to study how they mate. And we drop them in these tanks, and they refuse to. They absolutely won't have anything to do with one another.
Interesting. Well, I don't think any of us can help you. So again, if there's nothing we can do to help you, then maybe we should be on our way.
Maybe you should be. She looks back at Coriolanus and goes, anyway.
I'm so sorry. I'm trying to see if I have the ability to talk to fish. I think I do.
Do you have talk to animals, or was this like more like an ability for your trait?
Yeah, an ability for Tritons. Sorry, because that changes what I'm going to say next. Okay, this is taking too long. So,
just look up if Tritons can talk.
Yeah, it's on looking. And this aquatic beasts have extraordinary affinity with your people. You could communicate simple idea with beasts that can breathe water. They can understand the meaning of your words, but you have no ability.
Yeah, so you can talk to them, but it's like a druid, or it's like Firbolg with plants and animals. You can speak to them, and they can understand you, and you have charisma checks. You have advantage on charisma checks, I think.
Okay.
Trying to get them to do things, but you can't understand what they're like. They can't speak back to you. You can't understand what they're saying.
Okay, so then I tell Tabitha, fair Tabitha, it wouldn't hurt for me to try, as both of us are well more advanced than everyone else around us. I have the need to possibly, for small.
So right. Oh my God.
Ouch, Coriolanus.
I got one trick and it seems to be working.
Fair enough.
Oh my God, so true.
Oh
my
but
God.
it might be helpful for us to go to the cuttlefish. I have some ability to convince animals of things. Maybe I can help with your research.
Oh my God, that would be so amazing. That would be that would be so good. Do you want to just, I don't know, do you want to just like get dinner and talk about it later?
Thanks, Tabitha, and I use my hand and stroke it down her face lovingly while I stare in her eyes. Okay, okay, I stroke her arm. I show her hand. Tabitha, I would love nothing more than to dine with you, but alas, now we must help these poor beleaguered non-oceaners, and then we may do what we want afterwards.
Oh my God, you are right. I guess if you guys are gonna go to talk to Dr. Ferris, I should probably go with you. Oh, this whole day has been so humiliating. And she just like leans on you.
Do I fall?
Check.
So I
Roll me a
suddenly-
D20 for
I
strength.
suddenly try to shift the weight a little bit more onto Tabitha. And I say, "Here, Tabitha, lead the way."
Okay. All right. So you guys, you make your way out. Tweedly, I see him falling behind, just disgusted.
I'm rolling my eyes. Yeah, absolutely.
Just completely disgusted.
Can I try to give Tweedly a little seductive wink to eat?
I grumble at Inara. I'm pretty sure I would have had my coffee by the time we were moving.
Okay. You're muted, Abby.
Sorry, I was eating pizza and I was following your rule.
Oh, okay. Okay, so everybody starts to head towards the library. You can see on the map that I sent you, it's directly next to this sort of large, to the laboratory. And as the sound of you guys walking towards the library and sort of milling about happens, somebody, you hear a large booming voice come out, and the voice goes, what the hell is all of this? Tabitha, what have you done to my facility? And you see standing there, looking extremely rumpled. He's got sort of thin white hair pulled back into a really sparse ponytail. Huge, full orc in a tightly fitting little lab coat. It just doesn't, like, they just don't make them for orc proportions. He's got little teeny tiny glasses with the stems appear to be like bowed out slightly because they're not made for a giant orc head. And he's got the two tusks. And he's looking around at all of you and in shock and bewilderment. What do you guys do?
I go up to him. I put myself in front of Tabitha and go up to him and say, "You clearly know what you are doing. Please do not blame us. They came from above in a terrible crash, and your facility was the only thing that saved them. You are a hero of man. Also, I have the ability, I believe, to help you with your research, for I can speak to a fish, and I could possibly help to solve your mating problem with the fish, as Fair Tabitha has noted."
Oh, this dude wants to mate with the fish?
The fuck?
You just said he's got a mating problem with the fish.
No.
That's just not an image I really wanted in my head. But
Coriolanus tells Damocos, please tells what's the Dr. Orc's name?
Dr. Ferris.
Ferris. Please pay no attention to this man who talks of mating with the fish. He is slow of intellect. We're clearly talking about the male and the female fish mating.
I feel like I certainly
Absolutely no mating with the fish in my facility. Under no circumstance. I don't know who any of you are, but you keep your hands up and various tentacles and cloacas. He sort of peers at the Kenku, away from my fish.
I was gonna say, Ting and I kind of discreetly wander in from a nearby hallway, having
hey,
heard.
wait a minute, I'm not slow of intellect.
And Tig raises their wings low and says, I've met this wonderful researcher under your authority, and I'm only here to help her. I am hopeful I can do my best to help in your research, and I believe Isabel and I were speaking, and perhaps we can help even help your problem with this blockage.
Okay, I don't understand. You guys are your PhD students, your graduate students?
Dr.
Oh.
Ferris, we have become accidental hosts of shipwrecked victims. Surely you will be gracious enough to see to their comfort and perhaps graciously accept their assistance.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Damn, what magic?
Can I assist? Can I assist in this?
Yeah. Go ahead and assist.
I'm gonna mutter to like the group at large. I wasn't on a ship. I came out here to
13.
rescue you.
What was it?
13.
Okay. You see that he looks around the group and he goes, okay. I just want to be clear on what happened here. Let's just get down to the brass tacks. And he looks directly at you, Isabeau, and he goes, the cuttlefish, are they okay?
The cuttlefish are fine.
Oh my God, you guys had me so worried. I was so worried. They're still in there? Are they was anyone crying in front? You know you're not allowed to cry. In front of
Tabitha cried multiple times.
Tabitha! Absolutely not. Under what you of all people should know. So you let these people into, and you could see her just sort of shrinking away. He's this really big guy. He's not pump 6 big, but he's big.
What is he? What is he?
He's an orc.
He's an orc. Okay.
He's just a full orc, not half orc, full orc. And Tabitha goes, I wasn't exactly crying in front of the pump 6 comes lumbering down the hallway. Crying? No crying. And she's like, I wasn't crying. She goes and she hides behind a bookshelf. And he's like, I cannot believe the state that Tabitha has left this facility. I trust her to make this. And now you're telling me there's people here and they're not even grad students? Can any of you write? Are any of you good at writing grants?
Dr. Ferris, before I understand this is a place of research, but I believe it is possible. You are in luck. Look around you at some of these people. Some of them are larger creatures, and Ting kind of indicates toward the 2 dragonborn and says, I heard you're having a bit of a blockage problem, and as talented as I'm sure many of your grad students are, perhaps you could use a different skill set for this problem you have encountered.
Okay, can I just point out that I am not a day laborer? Just because I happen to be a dragonborn, it's not like I'm like
Ting kind of like
moving rocks.
Gives you a look, Anara, like we made a pact to silence.
But you are quite physically skilled, as you showed in the battle with the, what are they called?
The Hwagan.
I wrote down the phonetics. Yep, Sahuagin.
Hwagan, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sahuagin. As you showed with the incursion of the Sahuagin.
I mean, when I'm a
The Hwagan? What the goddamn Tabitha? She's just hiding behind. Who the hell is all right, that's it.
Okay, I think Coriolanus goes to Dr. F whatever and says, be calm, man.
Roll me a persuasion check with disadvantage.
I was about to add to that. I was also going to let slide. They also broke the security doors.
Oh my god. This calls for immediate demotion.
Isabeau, you're not helping.
Isabeau, do you want to be in charge of everything? Do you want to be just in charge of the whole facility now? Because I cannot believe this state. I'm just in here working. I'm working on grants all day, every day.
I wouldn't go that far.
Take speaks. Isabeau, don't cut yourself short. Is from the small time I've spent with her, she seems incredibly capable. Perhaps she should be in charge of these operations.
Well,
at least for a little while.
Somebody has to. It obviously can't be Tabitha. And he's glaring at her, and she's sort of looking back at him sheepishly.
Oh, no.
You there, little thing. My friend was a little deep gnome, a fantastic man. He knew everything you could possibly know about bathypelagic cephalopods. Are you anything like that? You into bathypelagic cephalopods, little one?
Why no, I'm not.
Oh,
No, not of what you speak. But maybe I know this person.
you know my friend?
Maybe. Who is it?
Dr. Weedlebach?
Dr. Weedlebach?
Oh,
No way.
Wait, is that a real name?
No way.
It can't be a real name.
That sounds
is a
like
real
exactly like a
name.
real gnome name to me.
It's a deep no.
Dr. Weedlebach, my next door neighbor. Oh my God. This is such a small world or ocean. This is incredible.
Well, tell me, what has he told you about? We could put you in charge of the whole facility if you have this. If you've just got some knowledge of bathypelagic cephalopods. You know what? I would go with mesopelagic cephalopods as well. I'm loosey goosey here. I'm a fun researcher.
I think maybe we need to pass it to Isabeau. I have to say, though, he and I were very good friends. His intellect was well above mine. I'm going to pass it to Isabeau in this regard.
Isabeau, do you want to be in charge of everything?
I feel like it's not. Let this happen.
Very well.
And I Ting speaks up again and says, and I assume with so much responsibility, Isabeau would need probably access to certain things they don't currently have access, just so we can help Isabeau maintain. I don't know what the responsibilities are, but it must be a great responsibility while you're working on your very important grant, sir.
Oh, absolutely. Well, it's very simple. Just make sure the facility runs right. Shouldn't have to say this. Really shouldn't. And he's sort of glaring at Tabitha in the corner. But no Sahwagins in here. For sure, no Sahwagins.
We will make sure, of course.
All right. No one can be upset in front of the cuttlefish. If you can get them to mate, that'd be great.
I am not prone to crying.
Have you tried playing the cuttlefish some music that sets the mood?
What was that? Sorry.
Play some Sade.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
would like
play some music for him. Get him going.
I would like to talk to the cuttlefish.
I think it's time Barry Manilow.
Okay, so now there's a couple of ideas floating around, so I guess we'll just address them in turn. We've already tried playing them extremely sexy music. I'm sorry.
Sexy or actually sexy?
I don't
No
understand
offense.
what distinction you're making. I don't know what the distinction you're making. It's
Well, maybe orc sexy music is different from cuttlefish sexy music.
Should I just?
I'm looking at Damikos and I'm like, no.
Should I just? I'll just make it. I'll just let you know what it sounds like. We tried, and you'll see that it was so sexy and it didn't work.
I have no idea why that wouldn't work.
So on and so forth. You understand? In the orchestra.
No, that's
really deep in the gullet.
So
I'm having really hard to restrain myself right now. I'll have you know.
is it just polka? Is it just like ocean polka?
It's orc music. It's very sexual. It's very sensual. It really comes from the gullet. You got to bring the phlegm up. My first son was conceived to that exact music, serenaded by me personally.
TMI. TMI.
It's a very
Dr.
And so Coriolanus says, while I do enjoy this information of your sexual encounters, may I try something? Tabitha has told. Should I mention Tabitha? Well, let me try something. So I go to the cuttlefish and I play some have sex cuttlefish.
Wait, are we all like filtering. We're all agreeing to follow you into
Wait, are we not in the cuttlefish area?
No, we're
In the
still in
library.
the library.
Oh shit. Okay, yeah. So I would say
I think we have a volunteer for that first task.
Yes. Coriolanus, believe that I have the power to convince these cuttlefish and solve all your research that you've been unable to solve for this long, just with my ability to create sexy time for these cuttlefish.
You're gonna turn the cuttlefish into cuttlefish.
Woo!
Oh God.
And
That's next level
Sorry,
funnery right there.
I don't understand that bit. How can you turn the cuttlefish into cuttlefish? They're already cuttlefish.
Oh, cuddle.
more
Like cuddling?
cuttlefish.
We're gonna make cuddly.
I think he means cuddly fish. He will turn them from cuttlefish into cuddly fish.
Oh,
Less
oh,
wow.
oh, I haven't heard that one before. Oh my God, you're a funny little one, aren't you? Oh, man.
Also, if you need some money, I know a guy.
Oh, I don't need it. Well, I do need grant money. You know a guy who can get me grant money from
Yeah, his name's Grant. He's got money.
And he pounds you on the back. Make a strength check.
2.
He's flying across the Oh, sorry about that, little guy. And he picks you up, puts you back up, right? Oh man, this is a good one. Maybe I should put you in charge, but it's too late. Already put Isabeau in charge, and she's so great too. Every time I try to talk to her, she just looks at me blankly, and I feel like she's not saying something, but if she did say it, it would hurt my feelings. So anyway,
Yeah, that tracks.
Dr. Ferris, just so we're clear, because we would like to help Isabeau as much as we can. So I believe we have a volunteer for the cuttlefish, trying to get them to mate. Very important research, I'm sure.
that's the most important thing.
oh.
I can't think of anything more important than
Top
getting
of our list. Top of our list, absolutely. But just because Isabeau's in charge of everything, what
Right.
else would be on this sort of list that we need to take care of?
Oh, well, as I said, no Sahagins, right?
Oh yes, no support. Got that
Okay,
one.
yes.
Mhm.
Generally, no random people, just in the facility. Like, for example, just people that I've never met before who aren't PhD students wouldn't want that. That's a big no, right? It's a sterile environment. Also, I heard something about a gate being blocked. Can somebody explain what's going on?
We can certainly look into that. I have a quick question. I want to circle back to the no Swahagins real quick. We as you know, we are part of that group 3 of random people you've never met. So we're not familiar with this facility. Are there any areas that perhaps the Swahagin could get access to that perhaps Isabeau doesn't currently have access to? So we could do a perimeter sweep.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't, how did they get into the facility this time?
I believe that there was this portal. It's portal doors,
They broke into the
floodgates.
floodgates.
The
Good.
the airlock over there. They just broke into
do they
it.
normally do that? Because they seemed very casual about it.
No, that does not normally happen. It shouldn't be possible for them to just get in through the floodgates from the outside. You can't just operate the floodgate from the outside.
I mean,
Did someone
they
leave the
definitely did.
floodgate unlocked?
Well, if you all just came in just before, I suppose it's possible that somebody messed up. And he's looking again at Tabitha. And she's is another reason that you're not in charge. So, okay, that's fine. The floodgate is now closed, I assume. And
That area is secure. We've secured
Open
that
the
area.
floodgate.
okay,
any
so then you can
Other
just
vulnerabilities?
back in and out now, or is it it's fine now?
We didn't do anything. We just
I
left.
don't
it
recall
broken.
we
There's a bunch of
actually
things
looked.
floating
I
on the
think
floor.
we left.
We did
We
nothing.
will double check the security of that floodgate. We will make sure to secure.
You guys.
How do you think the cuttlefish feel about a bunch of dead swag
Swaggin.
on the floor? Do you think
Oh
they're
my
okay with
God.
that?
You haven't told him. Why would you tell? She is crazy and out of
Perhaps
it.
we
In
should
the
go
crying corner.
back
There
to
is
that
no-
room and
should
you can
stay in
tell
the
us what we
library.
need to do to fix it.
Well, now
Library.
you hear Tabitha pipes up really quickly, and she said sort of meekly, the Sahagins broke the outer door of the floodgate getting in, so it's now broken. And Ferris, just quietly fuming, meets her with a level gaze, and she goes, okay, and she ducks behind the bookshelf again. All right, I guess I'd better can somebody take me to go see this? We'll just go and we'll just take a look. I really shouldn't be involved with these day-to-day things. I'm really here for the grant writing.
Doc, I got one other question.
Mm-hmm.
Just, to keep things safe and secure, where do you keep your valuables? Just so we can make sure they're protected.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Make me a persuasion check. Make me a persuasion check with advantage.
He liked his joke so much.
Oh, that's a nat 20 on the first roll, so I don't think I need to roll again.
Okay, I will tell you. Absolutely. Well, there's a lot of. Let me just show you around. Yeah. Well, if you want to just walk back towards my office, and he just sort of walks you guys back towards his office. You see a small room in there. It's got it's adjoining the library. It's got a small desk. You can see it in the image that I brought up. It's the little circular room adjoining the library, abutting the library. It's got a desk and some bookshelves around it, and it's got a huge tank. And sitting in the tank is you didn't know that cuttlefish could be like morbidly obese. You didn't know that was like a thing. This is the fattest cuttlefish you've ever seen. She's just basically like a spear with little nubs coming up. And she's got like a really, really short one. One like really short sort of nubby tentacle. And he goes, "This is my most prized possession. Her name is Princess. This I show to you, my good friend. Also behind you can see that I've got, all of the stashes of money behind that in, a series of shelves. That's money right there. That's a bunch of gold. All of those are jewels. The books, all of the books could be worth something. You just really, almost all of the equipment in this lab could be worth something, but really everything in my office, yeah, it's worth a lot of money. I'm a very rich man."
So, just curious, because I've never been engaged in research before. Is grant money special, different from regular money? Can you not use your money to do your research?
Oh, no, I would never use my money to do my own research, because whenever you're studying things for the good of man, you have to apply, it's what you do in academia. You apply for grants, and to be honest, all of this money that I have here in my lab, it's like the last that I have left, because I spent a huge amount of my money refurbishing the facility just so that I could specifically study these fat, beautiful little cephalopods.
So you
Very ethical.
you mentioned some jewels. Could you tell us a little bit more about those?
Oh, sure. They're right there. You can see them. Emeralds, gold, diamonds, rubies, the whole lot.
Would you mind if I looked?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Take a look. He just like grabs a fistful of them and dumps them in your hands.
Boy, thank you. Thank you. I'm on the search for some jewels. I'm going to sift through these to see if maybe one is of my liking.
No, you can't keep them.
Barter.
No,
But we could barter. Maybe there's something I could do to help you.
maybe.
Let me look. Let me just look. No, there's no reason to panic. No reason to panic.
Make me a persuasion check.
Oh, shit. It's a 4.
All right, he just snatches them back up from you and goes, I don't trust that. He's looking directly at Damikos, the obvious rogue, the thiefiest thief in the whole lot, and he goes, I don't trust that little gnome. I don't know if she does know my friend from the university, and if she doesn't seem to know anything about meso or bathypelagic cephalopods. He puts the
And if you can't trust gnomes, who can you trust? And then I look at Tweedly and I just wink.
And I wink back.
Dr. Ferris, if I may interrupt, our cramped quarters are about to become microscopic with these new additions. Perhaps it would be of some use if our new guests could help us maybe uncover some of the unused space in the facility.
Oh, you're talking about the unrefurbished part of the lab, the lower level of the research facility?
The parts that are currently not in use, yes.
Gosh, I don't know if we want to put them there. It's very dangerous. There's all sorts of things.
Dangerous. Yes, perhaps that's another place the Sahuagin are getting into. Oh, that sounds terrible.
Oh my God, you think the Sahuagin are coming through is that door unlocked? And
Who knows? Oh, it seems like something we should investigate, don't you think?
Tabitha goes, no, it's locked. It's locked. It's completely locked, I swear.
I hate to interrupt, but will any of this get us any closer to getting out of this facility?
Oh, well, I can just get you out right now. There's a gate. It's just operated, and it leads directly to the cliffside. And he's looking at Tabitha, and she's shaking her head. And he goes, "What the hell happened to the gate, Tabitha?" And she goes, "Somebody, your niece. I told you this last week, Dr. Grace. You told me that you understood. Your niece broke the auramite crystal, and the gate isn't operating right now." And you see him just take a huge breath. And he goes, "Okay, well, just put the auramite back in." And she goes, "No, it's not. It's broken. It's shattered." And you see he rubs his temples and he goes, "Well, then you might need to go to the lower level of the facility.
Oh,
There is
well, we were glad to help.
there is auramite down there."
Mr.
I
I forget your name, tall male dragon boy? Male?
Donatello?
Yes, you.
Yes, me.
Sounds like we need to go to the lower levels to retrieve some of this. What's the substance called?
He said auramite.
Auramite. Yes.
Is that a thing
So-
that needs to be mined, or?
I know that whenever we refurbished this facility, that we were able to take it from various doors. This is ancient technology that we're sitting in right now. We're not really sure of its origin, but there's stuff like this spread out across the ocean all over, and the auramite contains a special kind of abjuration magic. It seems to seal and unseal doors. So the main entrance is there. It's possible, I don't know, you might be able to scavenge more auramite from the lower level of the facility.
You didn't make.
Do you
this
have an
place?
MSDS for auramite?
No, I
You
don't know
spent
what
too much
that-
time around me.
no,
Does anyone know how we should or shouldn't handle this stuff if we find it, or even what it looks like?
I would say definitely do not eat it or fuck it. Definitely neither of those things. I'm not.
There goes my plan.
Make another strength check.
best possible punishment for a bunch of bad jokes. So
That is a 16.
Right, you really hold up with that peeking out his shoulder.
I brace myself because I know it's coming.
Yeah, you're prepared. You just sort of shake sternly. But you know, the joke is definitely on Dr. Ferris, who has just showed you where everything he owns is. If you wanted to go down there, there's a possibility that you could find it, but you know, I don't know what other option we have. And Tabitha says, well, Mino and Diala went out the gate earlier whenever they went out the floodgate, and they were going to go to Amber and bring us back a bunch of Oromite, and that would only take like 3 to 6 weeks. I don't think there's any need to send them down this far. And he goes, well, I mean, it's up to you. It's up to all of you.
What are you hiding, Tabitha? Why don't you want us to go down there?
no, the more important question: the floodgate is broken. How are they going to get back in?
Question.
I think we need to go mining.
Yeah, you guys are gonna need to. You're for sure going to need to go down there. Yeah, are you good fighters, or is some of you are maybe squishy, or are you maybe some of you are sort of.
There appear to
who is
be
he
two
looking
of
at
us
when
who
he says
can generally fight, at least.
Sorry, what was that, Abby?
I was like, who is he looking at? when he does
Whenever he says that some of you are squishy,
that? Mhm.
he's sort of eyeing up the little Kenku, and he's also looking at I'm not sure how Coriolanus would feel about this, but he's looking at Coriolanus kind of unimpressed.
He doesn't look really offended.
Flexes his abs and winks at Dr. Fair.
Okay, yeah, sure. Roll me a persuasion. Yeah, for sure. Roll me a charisma check.
Okay. Charisma.
Yeah, I'm really rooting
oh.
for you to seduce all of the people on the ship.
18.
Ping is very heavily rolling their eyes at this.
Dr. Ferris's face flushes. And he goes, oh, now. And his eyes are sort of more lingering on your like very impressive, like sort of delts situation. He's like, you work out? You're a sort of a lifter? Maybe we should lift together sometime. You know,
Yeah, I would love to. You've asked if we're good fighters. I'm a great fighter, but surely you have fought in your time. You're so large and imposing, and you look like you're in great shape.
I think I'm looking around the rest of the group like, do you fucking see this shit?
While Dr. Ferris is distracted, I discreetly move several things on his desk 2 inches to the left.
1 second, I'm gonna roll a perception check on that. Yes, he doesn't see.
Too distracted by the deltoids.
He has no idea. But as he's talking, I have you see these I've done a little bit of battle. You see these and he points to like a couple of like skeletons. You see just various skeletons hanging up around his office in different places. He goes, you see these? Ethically sourced skeletons because they're from bad people that I killed in battle.
You could say they're organic.
But yes, okay, all right. So you're clearly all very competent. Okay,
where do we go? I like step in front of Coriolanus.
I was trying to get him to come to the lower level with us and fight with us. That was my plan.
I'm not picking that up at all. So I'm just like standing wholesale.
You seem like you're such a good fighter. Would you like to show? I would love to see an example of your fighting prowess why don't you join us in the lower levels?
Oh no, absolutely. Oh, under absolutely no circumstance. Oh no, not at all. No. I'm an older man. You know, my battle days. But hey, you want to spar a little later? You know, I'm
Tired.
just the two of us. We could, you know, shirts and skins. I don't know. You know, you could be skins. I could be shirts.
Maybe after I come back from the lower levels, we can revisit.
All right. Well, yeah. Okay, sure, fine. He looks a little dejected. All right. If you guys want to go down there, I think that makes sense.
What does this stuff look like? And how
Yeah,
how
do we have some? Where's the shattered one? Do we have any examples of what we're looking for?
Sure. Well, I'll tell you, I'm going to get back to grant writing, but Tabitha, maybe you could show your new boss around. Show her where the Oramite gate was, and and Tabitha just absolutely seethes. But she's like, of course, Isabeau, I'm happy to help you in absolutely any way that I can.
Of course you are, Drabatha.
Just curious, Dr. Ferris, since we'll be helping Isabeau with this very important mission, are there perhaps Tabitha needs to be moved to different like lower quarters, like worse off quarters, so we can continue to plan with Isabeau and help with this very important mission and get a good night's rest?
Oh, well, I mean, everyone has there's just a bunch of cots.
Are there enough for 6 extra people?
Oh, yes. I believe that there are, because in the past couple of weeks, we've had a couple of defectors from the lab.
What could cause someone to want to leave such an incredible research facility with such a impressive person such as yourself leading the research?
I don't know. I just got nothing.
It died?
Wait, what did you say?
Said they died.
Those ethically sourced skeletons over there, right?
I don't know what Tabitha, you know about all that. You know about all that. And you see that she just sort of coldly and stiffly goes, yeah, a couple of people have left a couple of weeks ago. Isabeau, I'm gonna have you make a roll that I want it. It's not even really an intelligence check so much as like an apathy check. Like, have you cared enough to pay attention to what's happening in this lab? But I'm gonna call it an intelligence check.
Like an insight.
Yeah, we can call it, but it would really be just like just rolling an intelligence check, and we'll just call that the apathy check to see if you cared enough to figure out what was going
on. 8.
Can I roll an insight check also just to kind of get a gauge on Tabitha's
Sure. Okay.
demeanor?
Isabeau, I'm gonna say that on an 8, you basically know what Dr. Ferris knows. You're like as concerned about all of this as he is. You know, where it's like somebody was like, "Oh yeah, people have been leaving the lab," and you're like, "Oh, okay, I don't give a shit. I don't care about them." Like, whatever.
If they're gone, they're no bother to me.
Right. You're like, that's got nothing to do. Cool. I can stack up 2 cots. In fact, if you
Wait,
want,
you got
maybe
bunk
you
beds?
Maybe you stacked up 2 cots when one of them left, so you could have an extra nice bed.
I
But-
would have done that, yes.
Okay, for sure. So that's the total effect that this has had on you, is that you just took one of their cots and now you have like the very luxe cot with extra blankets.
More for me.
Ting, you wanted to roll an insight check?
Yeah, just to kind of get a sense of like the body language and everything from what they might be thinking Tabitha as they're talking about people leaving.
Oh, what Tabitha is thinking?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Go ahead and roll me an insight check.
As a 15?
All right. I'm gonna DM you.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm gonna try to get the. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, no. I was just thinking I actually have an ability that might help us and
Well,
look for this object.
okay.
We just
Can I
really need to get
cast-
an example of it.
Locate object.
Yes.
Awesome.
So I asked Tabitha, I whisper to Tabitha and I say, Fair Tabitha, it sucks what they did to you. But tell me, I know someone of your stature would, people don't just defect, everyone loves you. Why did they defect? Tell me.
Oh, I mean, to be honest, there haven't been a lot of reasons. One of them, I know, got in a fight with Dr. Ferris. You know, a couple of others weren't adjusting super well to the facility, and this was back when the Oromite gate was still working. So they just, I mean, they just left. Most of them didn't even, you know, really say goodbye. They just, you know, picked up and went.
Just
Who-
curious,
who
you say
got the
how
fight? Sorry.
how many?
4, I think. I think the total is 4 now who have left.
And these are all recently, or it's been more of a trickle?
Yeah, pretty recently, within the past past month and a half, but honestly through like the entire time that the facility has been running, people have just came and gone. I mean, not everyone adjusts to the low light conditions. It's really stressful down here. I don't know if you've noticed, but people get like really mean. Like everyone's just really mean and grumpy.
Who had a fight with Dr. Ferris and what was the fight about?
I don't remember. It was one of the, I think maybe it was the it was Quinn, an elf. I don't know. I just know that I heard him talking to her about her performance at the facility. This conversation, by the way, is happening as like a very quiet aside between you and Tabitha. She's
Okay.
not raising her voice as she says it.
So no one else can hear except for the two of us.
Yeah,
Or-
but I'm gonna say Ting too, because Ting is standing pretty close.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. I know that she was kind of subpar as a researcher, and he seemed to be basically telling her she wasn't wanted in the program anymore.
Would she have reason to sabotage the facility by, say, letting Sawagans know how to get in?
Honestly, you know, she's an elf. I don't know how like committed she was to the mission anyway. Like the only people who are really committed, you know, to them, I mean, Dr. Ferris is, but like you and I, you know, people of the sea, like we know what it's like down. We love it down here, you know. Other people,
Go get a chair.
I wonder about that,
I've got a
Tabitha.
background.
You do seem very well
I've got a
adjusted.
background on, so
Do you think that you said a lot of people don't adjust well?
Oh,
Is it
I can't see.
people, just the people that are not kind of accustomed to the ocean, such as like you said yourself and Mr. Coriolis here? I'm not gonna pronounce that name right.
Coriolanus.
Coriolanus.
Hey, she is also low of intellect. It's fine.
Just
Is,
throw that
is
shit
there
around.
much of a difference or in terms of people's ability to adjust, or do you find that even people like you have had a harder time to adjust here than in other parts of the ocean?
I love it down here. I'm way happier down here than I am at Arden University. I like being, I'm a water genasi. I was meant to be down in the depths, but some people, they get really sad in the low light conditions and they just go crazy. And so people come and go and they leave. And that's always been true of this facility since Dr. Ferris and I, you know, first got the grant for it about 5 years ago. People have always came and went down here.
But it's always the non-water people, or have there been some water people that have had the same experience?
Make an insight check really quick.
By the way, Tweedley's walking around the room looking at the jewels.
It's only a 10 that time.
Okay. all good, all good. She goes, I mean, I don't know that there's any real, I don't know that there's really any real connection. But yeah, I mean, of course it would make sense that if you lived in the water that you would be more adapted to living in a low light, enclosed environment. And in my experience, certain like land dwellers maybe don't adjust as well.
So there haven't been any water dwellers who have left.
Make an insight check too.
23.
Oh yeah, you are getting a DM.
This is the portion of the show where somebody needs to sponsor a product.
Coriolanus is 100% good.
Brought to you by
Fair. Try some. It's delicious.
Okay, cool. So she goes, yeah, I guess so. I mean, I never really thought about it before, to be honest.
You can tell me anything, Fair Tabitha. You know that anything you say is safe with me. I am your safe haven. Feel free to share all of your burdens with me. Flex abs.
I'm actually gonna say make a persuasion check, but I'm gonna say make it with disadvantage.
Damn.
Magic apps aren't doing it.
Okay. So disadvantage means I roll a 6 and then
No, disadvantage means you roll 2 d20s and you take the lower score of the 2 d20s.
oh, okay. That's not bad at all. Okay, and then this is a persuasion check.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is 17.
That's the lower one of the two.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, because I'm
That's
supposed
plus
to add.
plus 11 persuasion, right? Yeah, that's her.
Yeah.
You have plus 11 persuasion.
Wait,
How did she end up with plus 11?
wait. No, I'm
No.
plus 6. I'm plus 6 persuasion.
Okay.
Even +6 for persuasion should be awfully high.
Well, I got 12 and 14.
That's really high.
Yeah, but what's your okay, so you have
because I put everything into persuasion and charisma. It says it right here. Persuasion
Okay.
6. Charisma is.
okay, because your charisma is 4.
Oh shit! Should I have been using my charisma, not
Yeah.
my persuasion?
Well, no. But your charisma is 4, right?
Yeah.
And you're proficient in persuasion.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Then it would be 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
You see that she is sort of like she's giving you kind of a level gaze. She seems to be thinking about it, but she doesn't seem entirely convinced. She says, maybe you and I should talk later. Maybe we should talk alone. Now is not the time.
Sure. Let's talk alone. Would you like to go to? Would you
Well,
like
well,
to
this
go
is
to
this is happening.
the
Can I
cot
ask?
area? Would you like to go to the cot area?
She doesn't want to. She's not like wanting to talk. She's like later.
Well, this is happening. Can I talk to Dr. Ferris and ask him? I'm looking for like books on this this material. Like I know there's a library, so I'm like, Dr. Ferris, I know I saw a library in the way in, right? Are there any maybe resources you can point us to about like the origins of this facility or the?
Oh, she wants to read the books.
Do you want to read the books?
Oh, she wants to read the books
You're
in the
absolutely right.
library. Well, guess what, bitch? We have so many fucking books in the library. You won't even believe how many books we have in the library. Yeah.
6.
I say to Dr. Ferris, like, as you seem like a very busy man, I know you have to go back to writing your, 14 font, grants and making sure they're double spaced, and that's a lot of work. I get it. So just if you could point us towards some resources so we can find this faster. I have a very important engagement I need to be at, so I need to get out of here.
Yeah, you see that he says, sure. You're wanting to read on what, Oromite?
Yes, or it may be also just about this facility. You said you didn't build it, you found it?
No, I didn't build it. Tabitha was actually the one who scouted it out. She's known about this place for a while, but of course, all across the coast of this nation, there are all of these sort of, underwater facilities. I
just want to raise a slight point. Cuttlefish, really cool, super cute. I love Princess, just the prettiest cuttlefish I've ever seen.
Do you want to see her? You can actually pet her. Would you like to?
Oh, I really do, actually. But no, did you think
you squish? Oh, just give her a little squeeze. Oh, she loves.
Can I pet Princess too?
Oh, everybody just pet it. So gentle. You must be so gentle. If you're not gentle, I'll snap your neck.
You are great with the humor, Doctor.
I'm not gonna lie, actually, I do want to pet the cuttlefish, so I'm definitely gonna do that.
Yeah, you can pet the hell out of that cuttlefish. You got to be so gentle.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I have any abilities to do this, and I'm not gonna actually screw this up. No, I don't. I'm just gonna try really hard to just one finger and just
okay,
run along the side.
You go up to the tank, and this fat cuttlefish just sort of drifts. It's like the orb drifts in your direction, looking at you. It's got these really cute, these really sweet, blue eyes, and it's pink and it's spotted kind of sparkly all over. And you go in to put your hand to it. Make an animal handling check.
Okay. Oh God, that's not a great score for me. 11.
Okay. Yeah, this is the DC is not high. She's a pretty tame cuttlefish. You see that she immediately goes up to you. Maybe not loving you, but the first thing that she does is she gets her little beak on your finger. She thinks that you're trying to feed her.
Oh no.
She's just clamping sort of lightly on her, anemically, this is a very tired, fat cuttlefish, just kind of chomping on your finger. And he goes, oh, she thinks your scaly little fingers are food.
They're not, okay. What does she like to eat, Dr. Ferris?
Oh, she loves fish. What doesn't she like to eat? Anything that I eat, she eats. She's just.
Wait, do you feed her table scraps?
Oh yeah. Oh, all the time. I know that you're not supposed to, but she's mine, and she's really not one of the what. She's older. I've had her for years. I found her in a tidal pool. She'd had her little nubbin bitten off.
So she didn't start out this big.
What do you imply?
No,
Dr.
I'm very
Ferris.
I think she's calling your cuttlefish fat.
No. I would never. This is the most sleek, beautiful cuttlefish I've ever seen.
Make another strength check, Danica.
Oh, that's a 4.
I'm sorry, but he really likes you. It's very funny. He goes, well, as we all get older, we all get a little round about the middle, don't we? Still lovable though, aren't we? It's okay. You can say it. She's a bit of a fatty, but I love her so much. And he reaches in and he just swooshes her entire body, and she just wiggles up to him, so happy.
Why don't I have a cuttlefish?
She's a really fine specimen, sir. I mean, I've never seen anything like. I'd never seen a cuttlefish until today, but still, in comparison to all the others, superior, definitely.
Did she do any tricks?
Oh yes, absolutely. She's extremely good at this one trick. I'll show you. You're really going to like this one. And he goes over to a little box in the corner. It looks like a sort of tackle and bait box, and with his hand, with his extremely thick-skinned, rough, orcish hand, fully picks up the hugest writhing centipede you've ever seen in your life. It's like this.
No. I'm like on the other side of the room.
you've ever seen. It's thrashing in his hand, and he goes, "Oh, you're gonna give her a good okay." And he goes up to the tank. It's like this long. All right, it's like twice the length of Princess, and he drops this centipede directly into the tank, and something in Princess just fucking snaps. And she goes and just tears segment by segment, like blue ichor from the centipede going everywhere. It's leaking into the tank, just starts devouring it wholesale. And you guys are watching this thing thrash for it's so upsetting.
Just curious, Dr. Ferris. That is an incredible trick. How does it know the difference between the centipede versus our fine dragonborn friend here?
Oh well, I taught it to eat centipedes. You know, get a little blood. I will admit that if they're just a little bit bleedy, you know, if they get a taste for it, I'll admit that they will. They can be a bit.
That thing could have eaten my finger. Is what you're trying to say?
Oh no, because yeah. Oh, I hadn't thought about it like that.
Is that true of all the cuttlefish in the facility, or just Princess here?
Oh, what? That they have a taste for blood?
That yes, if they get just a little bit of blood, they do this very interesting trick.
Oh yes, that's fully genetic. All of the cuttlefish, yes. Oh, extremely unsafe. If you were bleeding in the oh yes, they will. Yeah, they'll tear a man's arm off for sure.
Very, very, very fascinating, Dr. Ferris. And where did you get these very interesting specimens?
Oh, all of them come from the area surrounding here. Yeah.
Oh, good. That's excellent.
Cuttlefish on the outside. Yes. You know, sweet. You have to be pretty careful when you harvest them. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I look at Coriolanus because I'm like, you must have been around this. I'm like, why didn't you warn me?
Oh, Ting is looking at Tabitha, who told us that we could exit through the porthole when we first got here.
Tabitha does not look even remotely guilty. Tabitha doesn't even look slightly chagrined.
Oh, this has been a really educational day, and I'm looking at my finger and back at the fish, like
So if we took the bodies of those Sahuagin,
looking at you kind of happy.
if we took the bodies of the Sahuagin back in the cuttlefish room and threw them in the tank.
Oh, for sure. They would eat that. Yes, they would love. They'd like that a lot. Oh, yes, I think they'd have a very good time.
Very smart, Demikos. Very smart.
I feel like we've all been talking here a lot.
That's low of intellect.
I feel like we've all been talking a lot here, and that's great. It's so nice to get to know you. But also, we have a number of unsecured doors and dangerous things, and maybe some research to be doing here today.
Yeah,
maybe we should be getting to.
Oh yes, I think that you should all leave, and I will make a suggestion to every single one of you, which is that if you need absolutely anything, I cannot help you. I really just cannot stress enough that I don't know what's going on in the day-to-days of the facility. It's got nothing to do with me.
Of course, Dr. First, just to check before we leave you to your very important work, Isabeau, who is in charge of everything, they have full access to everything we could possibly need access to. They have all the keys to everything so that we can make sure that we do not need to disturb you again after right now.
Oh, sure. Tabitha, you can arrange to give her all your keys, you know, when you're signing over the paperwork that, you know, so that she can be your boss. I'm sure that, you know, I don't know if you guys have worked together in the past, so I'm sure that, you know, you two will work it out.
Well, maybe just for official reasons, right while we're sitting here, we'll make sure that Tabitha hands over to Isabeau all the keys we could possibly need.
So to head that off, Coriolanus directs Doctor to his abs and says, "We can do that later." I'm really trying to get Tabitha alone in the basement. So like that can be done later. Right now, Dr. Ferris, you've helped us so much. We will not bother you again.
Roll me I guess a persuasion check again.
Okay, so 10. Persuasion. 16.
Do I get to roll a persuasion check for getting the keys to the Isabeau?
To both roll one. I'm sorry.
All right, that is a 23.
Oh, damn it.
All right. So you could see that he kind of like he sees the point that you're making. He knows what Tabitha is like, and he goes, "Oh, all right, Tabitha, you have like a key ring or something. You've got all of the the stuff to the facility." And she goes, "Yeah." And she reaches into her pocket and just holds out her hand. She's not close to Isabeau. She just holds out her hand with the key ring and doesn't make any attempts to move. And you can see Ferris goes, "Okay, so walk over there. Go walk over there and give it to her."
I take the keys with mage hand.
Dope. So you just jerk the keys out of her hand, and she just crosses her arms and looks at you, and he goes, "All right, now everybody up. Absolutely nobody speak to me under any circumstances. Again, cannot stress enough how unwelcome you are, except for you, little one. You're so funny. Oh, and you, Coriolanus, if you just want to, I mean, but anyway, get out. Everyone leaves." And he ushers you out of his office.
As we're walking out, can I try to swipe something?
Yeah. Go ahead and make a, I guess what is that? Sleight of hand?
18.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
He fully sees you trying to swipe something.
Oh, no.
He goes, "Now what the hell is this? What the hell are you doing? What are you trying to grab?"
I'm just checking. Making sure you're watching.
Put it down.
Of course.
And you see he soured on you a little bit. Okay, and you guys go ahead and you head out. Where are
I secure the keys. There's a sort of delicate leather belt around my dress, and I secure the keys to the belt. And I turn to everyone in the hallway and I say, "Who's hungry?"
Okay, this seems like a perfect time for a break, doesn't it?
Agreed.
Jenny's like, "That's how I engineered."
Okay,
get called.
so we're gonna come back at like I need to just feed these cats. So we're
Same.
gonna come back at 9:40.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Hey, Ron.
Did you grab a snack?
Yeah, I did. Is that all right?
Of course.
Well, it depends. What's the snack?
I was thinking as I made the popcorn, I'm like, oh my God, maybe like eating while we're playing is not cool.
No, you can eat while you're playing. That's totally fine. Everyone does that.
We get in trouble for that, I would be like constantly in trouble.
Oh, okay.
The only so like I've had it where it really bothered me that they would do it on Critical Role because they have like a mouth, like they have like they're mic'd, their mouths are mic'd, and so you can hear them on Critical Role chewing, and I would be like, I have to literally skip these 30 minutes. I absolutely cannot just sit here and listen to Sam munch. That man snacks so fucking much.
We have a guy in our office that every time we're in a meeting, he's eating gummy bears, and all through the meeting, he's like this. And it's like, dude, stop. And it's a huge, like, 3-pound bag of gummy bears. This is so annoying. I mean, they're not noisy. I mean, that's the good news, but
People will probably say this.
But
but
if they're
I
not
don't do it during
noisy,
meetings.
what is it about it that bothers you?
I don't know. The guy, I don't like him.
I understand. It's like
Everything he does bugs me.
I understand. There is something extremely audacious about having a 3-pound pack of like. It's such a something like weirdly Dwight Schrute about it.
You know what? I might tell him that.
Don't tell him that.
No, I think that's a great thing to say. He probably won't get it.
Like very offensive, mother. You know that. Like maybe don't. I don't know if I would say that to somebody unless I had a really good relationship with them.
Why is it so offensive to say he's like Dwight Schrute?
Dwight Schrute sucks so bad.
Yeah, he's real bad. He's like deeply like not fun.
He's comic relief.
In a bad way. Like the kind of way that you're like, if this person was in my office, I would want to die. Like,
what are we talking about?
That one of the people in my office.
He did save Pam though.
That's true. That's true.
Oh, the
He
actual
does
show,
have
The
some
Office.
redeeming qualities, but I will say that most of the time he's pretty bad, right? Like,
It's like I actually like Dwight Schrute as a character, but if somebody were to say to me, "You remind me of Dwight Schrute," I would not be flattered.
And those would be fighting.
I don't want to flatter this guy.
It would be
Okay,
very
but
upsetting. It would be
I
fighting
wouldn't
for
just be like not flattered, Mom. I'd be like, that's really rude. Why would you say that to me?
It
I don't
depends
know.
on in what context. Like if I'm farming something and they're like, you're like, I'll be like, this is awesome. Yeah, well done.
Okay, that's a good point.
Is everyone back?
I think so.
Yeah, Doug's there.
All right. Well, you guys, I leave it to you. You guys are deciding where you want to go.
Well, before we go anywhere, Isabeau, I'm just wondering, should we go back and check on that gate? Before some more SWAGen come through.
Well, and I think Mr. Corey, you gotta really change your name in the Zoom so I can remember how to pronounce it.
Coriolanus.
Coriolanus wanted to talk to the cuttlefish.
So what do you guys think about going back and checking on that gate?
Yeah, we
I
can
want to
check
feed
on
a
it.
Swagan to the cuttlefish.
I don't really care anymore about the cuttlefish.
Fair enough. Now, I think we figured out their story. There's not really much else to figure out about them. But it might be a good idea to go feed them some SWAGen. Go throw some of those bodies in there.
You know, before we throw those bodies in there, we ought to see if they got anything useful on them. Hey, maybe they got some of that little, what's that stuff we need?
Oh, that's good.
Anthracite, anthropomorphosite,
Oromite.
whatever, auramite.
I might write that
Isn't
down.
that in
Oromite.
isn't that in the lower lobby? They might have crystals on them? Yeah, sure. Sorry.
I don't know. I've never seen them before.
All right. Are you guys making your way down to
I sort of was I was sort of waiting for Isabeau to vote.
Oh, well, I suppose, although
I mean, she's the leader now.
administratively. for now. Perhaps we should make a detour through the cafeteria and let the rest of the staff know that some part of the facility may be insecure.
Will there be time to grab a coffee?
Yes, Mr. Donatello, yes.
Are
Oh,
we
good.
not worried
Thank
that
you.
other people will freak out if they hear that they're in danger and possibly cause a panic before we have put the Swagans away?
If they're inclined to panic at the sight of dead bodies, that's hardly my problem.
Okay. King, you have chosen well.
Trust me, it's much better to be forewarned. I'm sure you'd be incredibly guilty if your dear Tabitha were to go into some dark corridor and meet her end because there was something that she wasn't aware of.
Can I do an insight check on Isabeau? Because she's creeping me out. Like,
Yeah, you can roll an insight check. It's just gonna be like a contested roll between the two of you. So and it really is just a question of so do both of you do a contested roll. Isabeau, if you're trying to hide something, then you're rolling deception. But if you're
Yeah.
not trying to hide something, then I would just roll, I guess Abby would probably know better than me, but I'm thinking probably like charisma.
Or
So
persuasion?
yeah. Or, well, if you're just trying to persuade, it would depend if they're trying to persuade them of anything. Like,
I would think if you're like being an open book, it might just be like a straight DC 10 or something. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Yeah. So I guess yeah, just roll me depending on whether you're trying to hide something, either just a straight roll or a deception roll. And both of you roll and tell me what your scores are.
okay, so I'm rolling a persuasion roll. Okay.
No, you're rolling an insight check.
Okay. Oh, that's nice.
Hmm.
23.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening. I know at some point this is gonna screw over, but right now.
5.
Okay. All right. You
That's so close.
Coriolanus, is there anything that Coriolanus reads on you that you wouldn't want them to know with the 23?
Well, Coriolanus, sorry.
Disdain.
you don't want her to know. You don't want him to know that because it kind of feels like you do.
It seems like you're kind of fine with people knowing that.
Okay.
Yeah, like it's clear on my face. I'm not hiding anything.
Okay,
fair
so she
enough.
just hates Tabitha. Okay, that's it.
Mhm.
Okay, she just wants Tabitha to die. Okay.
Oh, I don't want
Why
that.
does she hate Tabitha?
Okay. That was a waste of a turn. Continue.
But you wouldn't be particularly upset if it happened either.
Mm.
Okay. All right. So you guys are trying to decide whether you're going to go back to the lab to secure the bodies, or you're going to the mess hall.
We need to close the floodgates. Like, we need to.
I'm sort of going to be insistent here. I'm going to be, guys, I really think, I mean,
I agree.
Damascus thing, Nara, please voice your
Did
opinion here.
Tabitha leave the office with us?
I certainly think we will get in the good graces of everyone in the facility if we fix this little problem, if we move forward.
Tabitha, be a dear, go to the mess hall, explain the situation to the others so they know to be on their guard in case there are other incursions, while we will go and check the gates.
And lose
I'd
some
love
bodies.
to. I'm sure. No problem. And she
Coriolanus goes with Tabitha.
slinks off to do it. Okay.
Trying to get this info.
But I'm gonna focus first on we gotta focus first on, okay, so you guys are heading down towards the lab.
Yes.
Yes.
So everyone makes their way down towards the lab. Yeah, you go there. There's just there's just Sahuagin bodies split into. They are wearing not very much armor. You can see from the from what you're from like the picture that I think that I sent you last time. They're you know, they've got like sort of loincloth type situations, not very elaborate. But the middle Sahuagin is wearing the large female that you killed was wearing a little bit more elaborate things. So what are you guys doing?
I would like to
Dibs.
investigate the bodies, mostly for any kind of symbols or anything else to give me any indication of anything about them really that I can figure out.
Roll me an just an investigation check.
Okay. I don't think I have very good investigation. Oh, it's not terrible.
Can I assist?
Yeah,
You
go for
can. That would be great because I rolled a natural one, so it'd be wonderful if you
Ooh.
assisted.
All right. How do
I
I
don't know if that's
assist?
gonna help.
Because I've never
I
done
Didn't
get
that.
to
even
roll
count
with
the
advantage
bodies.
if I get assisted, right?
For assist, all you have to say is, "Can I assist?" And she
Okay.
rolls you advantage.
Okay.
Better than a natural one. Still not great. That was a 9 total.
Oof. Okay. All right. I will say that you go ahead and scavenge off of the bodies. First of all, there are 2 spears for the smaller Sahuagin. The large one, you know, you wouldn't have missed it. The large one had she had 2 scimitars on her. If you want to take them, you notice and I guess in total probably between all 3 of them, they've got like, you know, a couple of like pieces of gold, about 5 gold, 7 silver, and that's it. You, Ting, notice something else. It's pretty clear there's an inscription on each one of them that's wearing a piece of clothing, has somewhere on or another, either on like a necklace or a tattoo on one of them, an inscription that looks like basically sort of like a circle of this it looks like a humanoid woman, perhaps like a religious icon of a humanoid woman with seaweed hair and talon-like fingernails. Each one of them has it. The image is exactly the same on each of them. You could suss out that it's some kind of icon. It looks the same on all 3 of them.
Is it just an icon, or you said there's text that goes with it?
No, there's no text on it. It's just an image of a woman, of this woman with seaweed hair and talon-like fingernails.
I will pass it around to everyone and look at myself, but also pass it around to everyone. Say, does anyone recognize this symbol?
Let's see.
I was gonna say, can we do an insight check?
Yeah, everybody go ahead. I'm trying to think of, but there's only a couple. I'm trying to think of who.
Like a religion or history
Would it
check?
be, yeah, religion
yeah,
or
so-
history?
It would definitely, it's 100% a religion check. I'm going to say that
The one person that would know is not here.
no, I don't want like this is sort of like a problem. Do I want like everybody to just roll? I guess everybody roll me just a straight religion. I think everyone who's here can just roll me a straight religion check.
Yeah, and I don't think this is gonna go anywhere. So
I got a 5.
16.
8.
16.
11.
Okay. So Donatello and Isabeau, you both recognize this sigil vaguely. You think that it might be related to a goddess. You can't exactly remember the name, but it seems like a goddess who is generally generally an evil goddess. and usually worshipped by people like pirates and underwater things. So it would make sense that the Sahuagins would have it with your sort of vague knowledge of what this might be, that this is some kind of evil goddess. I guess I'm gonna say on a 16 as well, that you know that people you've heard rumors of people making land dweller, like making sacrifices to this goddess. I want to say human, but not human, like any of the races sacrifices to this goddess of the sea.
Well, that implies this incursion might be organized rather than opportunity based.
I'm sorry, you said something out loud, but I didn't really understand what you meant. Like, did you recognize the symbol? What is going on here?
Yeah,
We relay that information.
Yeah,
oh,
to
well, that's
the
great.
rest
Thank
of the
you.
group.
They seemed like they were intent on something. Like they wanted. They didn't seem like they just broke it in for a good time.
Or if we should hold on to the necklace in case it comes in handy later.
It
So you
could be
throw them
useful
throw it at people?
evidence or artifacts. We could share it with the other staff members, the other researchers, see if they recognize them.
Or if we encounter more
Yeah.
Sahuagins, we could try to talk our way out of it.
Or try to
Hmm.
compare it to some of the books in that
Wait,
massive
did-
library.
Didn't we try talking to them and we didn't speak their language?
Yeah, but maybe if we dangle a little necklace with their like god lady, it'll give them pause. I don't know. I'm
How
slow of
many-
intellect.
Did they all three of them have them?
No, they have various symbols on them.
Okay.
I would say the necklace comes from the largest one. It's kind of like a fancier piece, and you can tell that she's the one who was in charge. By the way, the room smell. I just want to remind you guys, the room smells so bad. It's just disgusting.
Can I look at the broken gate and try to like I don't know what I'm doing, but can I try to see if there's something obvious to secure it?
Yeah. So go ahead and first just make me a regular investigation check.
Okay. This is not this character's strength, so that's not terrible. 16.
Okay. So you go up to the gate. I think it would be helpful if you're sort of like looking at the
map,
if you're
yeah.
looking at the facility as I described this to you. So basically there's sort of like a small compartment chamber. What you can see has happened is that by some manner, the Sahuagin have actually punctured the compartment chamber. That compartment chamber was meant to be sort of a buffer, as in the gate opens, water floods in. You have this sort of extra chamber so that whenever you open the door, water doesn't just flood immediately into the facility. So they've punctured that. It's now filled with water. And in fact, you see out there a couple of strawberry spotted cuttlefish kind of pulsing around in the water outside, kind of curious, trying to figure out what's going on. And a little bit farther out in the darkness, big dark silhouettes moving past the glass of the facility. You're not sure exactly what those are. But the floodgate, I mean, it's as secure, locked in place as like the glass wall is next to it. Somebody could come over to it if they wanted to and open it and drown you all. But it's locked in place.
So it's really just that interior, that second chamber has been, the integrity is compromised.
Yeah, the integrity of the second chamber is compromised.
Okay. I'm gonna like shout out to the rest of the group. Does anybody have any kind of like mending abilities or anything that we could use to like patch this wall up? Like,
I could go find a chair to prop
I
against.
think the
door
one
from
person that
opening.
might have mending abilities is not here.
Listen, I'm trying to get some precious things to fix it. If you want to go see what I'm doing, I can tell you what I'm doing.
No, I'm just saying the one person that might have godly powers to mend this door did not come with us.
Does anyone have any high heat powers?
I have acid. Does acid help us?
no, it
Also,
does
I'm
not.
gonna-
No, no.
It's not a small puncture in the facility. The chamber on the other side, it's fully been shredded. It has been torn apart.
Okay, like
Um,
we're not gonna be able to mend it. Short of like miracle.
yeah, make me a I don't know what the check would be. It's kind of like a mechanics check or just like
I guess
a.
that might be just like a straight int if it's not like.
Okay, yeah, okay. Make me like a straight intelligence check. Then
I'm not doing myself any favors. That's not a thing I have a lot of. But I don't know how. Okay, 16, same.
Okay. Yeah. It's pretty ruptured open. Doesn't look like somebody just like with a sword could have done that.
No,
Look like a
interesting.
sword on its own would have just ruptured. I mean, it's a huge. So there's glass all around you, but that tiny little compartment that, for security purposes, is not glass. It's actually metal.
So it's like something. Does it look almost like claw marks or like?
No,
bite
it doesn't
marks,
look like
something
claw
natural?
marks. It looks like
Let me
blast
just rip the
blast
door
marks,
off.
like
Like sabotage.
like a controlled explosion.
Does it look like maybe from the inside? Is there any way to tell? I'm trying to think if there's a way to like see.
Yeah,
like,
on a 16
there's
intelligence
scorch
check,
marks
I'm
or
gonna say
something.
the way that you could tell that something was placed from the inside is because the way that the metal is melted and broken is going outwards, out
Mhm.
towards the water, not inwards.
Okay, and that is true in this case. Okay, I'm gonna be like peering closer at it, and as I sort of make a noise, and I'm like, come look at this, and I look at the first person who's behind me. Who's that? Okay, sure. I look and see that it's you, and I'm like, oh, but I still like look up, and I'm like, do you see how it looks like it's been pushed outwards, like it was an explosion from the inside?
I suppose I should check and see. Is general intelligence we're running? 17?
Yeah, you see the same thing. I mean,
I agree. That's what it looks like.
I mean,
Are you
doesn't that suggest
suggesting
somebody from in here exploded this
some
interior chamber?
collaboration with those awful creatures?
Maybe. I mean, maybe somebody's in on it.
Well, who was in here?
But we had all left. I don't know who was here.
It was Pump 6.
Would I know what
Where I'm
Pump
pumping
6's
Sorry.
abilities are?
Pump 6. Yeah, roll me again. I'm just gonna. We're calling it an intelligence check, but it's really an apathy check. It's like, how much of an interest have you actually taken in Pump 6?
12?
Okay. Yeah, you've taken maybe like a little bit more interest. She's more interesting than the weedy little nerds, the little basement nerds.
Isabeau's heads up display looks at the researchers and just sees mostly harmless, sees Pump 6 and says, dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone else in the facility. But Pump 6, I mean, you have noticed that she is extremely powerful, but not extremely delicate. She's got big, meaty talons. She's probably not capable of doing any sort of like delicate, fine work. And more than that, she's really not sapient in any appreciable sense. She's got a series of subroutines and she follows them.
Does she have any projectile weapons?
No, she does not. A projectile weapon is any time that she picks you up and she fucking kills you.
You are the projectile.
Okay.
Can I grab one of the scimitars and try to wedge it through the wheel that opens to the outside, or the
Oh, like wedge it through to
Like it's
Lock it.
leverage or
no, to like lock it. I'm trying to like, I don't know. I don't like the idea of somebody just opening it up and drowning everyone.
yeah. I'm not sure how that would work. Make me, I guess, like what would be like a mechanics sort of based.
That's true. I'm
Like,
not good at that. So
I guess if
I
you
will
roll-
just say again, if we acid off the wheel part of it, it's gonna be
I-
hard to turn.
Can I just
Does
ask
anyone
that-
have a wrench to turn it with? I think it'll be difficult.
I just don't think we should maybe be throwing acid around.
I could do a very controlled acid just on the wheel part.
I am
you
gonna
just-
make you roll.
do you
For,
just-
I'm gonna make you roll for how controlled it is.
Do you think maybe that like how much do you trust all of our lives with your ability to do that?
Are there any doors between the cuttlefish lab and the rest of the facility?
No. Most of it is open hallway.
Okay.
I mean, if we can't secure this interior chamber and get it functioning again, we need to we can't just have somebody like opening it up from the outside, right? They're just gonna kill everybody in the facility.
Wouldn't there be like some staff that the facility would have to do
It's-
sort of
Isabel.
repairs?
Oh well, that's a good point.
Isabeau, isn't there some staff that could help or workmen or workwomen that could assist in repairing this?
No, it is currently a skeleton crew of researchers. If there was facilities maintenance before, they would have been here before I arrived and left before I arrived.
Would there be any materials left behind?
Perhaps we would probably have to explore a bit to search for some. Perhaps in the meantime, we could assign Pump 6 to monitor the gate.
Yeah, that seems like a good idea.
That's a
Just 'cause
great
if
idea.
You
something
are
would
in
come
charge of the
by-
whole facility, so I assume you have that authority.
Where is Pump 6?
I don't know. You gotta call her.
Ah, jeez. Who here has the loudest voice?
I mean, I don't think we've ever like had a contest.
Well, I'll holler for Pump 6.
Please.
Good, choose
So
the
I
smallest
scream in
person.
my little 3.5 way for Pump 6, please come.
Okay, make me a performance check.
All right. Oh, 5.
Okay, yeah. You definitely do that. You're like Pump 6.
Oh, I know. Someone start crying or fighting. Someone tap on the glass. Tap on the glass. That always
Do
gets
not
something.
do that.
Were you tapping on the glass as you said that, or were you not?
I was suggesting Demikos. You enjoy these
Damagos,
things.
yes.
Go tap on the glass.
I
Or-
mean, duty calls.
Go
When I walk
Damagos.
up, I'm gonna tap on the glass.
Alright,
Isabeau
so tap
steps
on the
out
glass.
of the lab.
Boom, 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 boom. No tapping on glass. He comes lumbering from the crying corner. Make an opposed athletics check.
So I rolled a 14.
Yep, she fully picks you up, walks away with you, and she's so loud.
No,
Don't tap on glass.
Pump 6, come
Pump
back.
six, come back.
Come back.
What? What? And she sort of pauses as she's trying to carry him to the crying corner.
No, I thought I saw somebody start to tap on the glass again.
No tapping on glass. And she drops Damocos and starts walking around. No tapping on glass. And
Pump
she's looking
six.
around for who's doing it.
Pump 6, you have a new immediate assignment. This door is insecure. You must guard the door to protect the cuttlefish.
Must protect cuttlefish. Door is insecure. Must
Yeah.
protect cuttlefish. And you see that she takes this, she understands, like, you've invoked the proper word, right? It's just protecting cuttlefish. So she goes and she stations herself in front of the door.
And if
Alright.
you see any of those fish people taking points at the floor, you come get one of us.
Or you just handle
take
them
care of it.
yourself,
Yeah,
if
that's
you
fine.
can.
Yes, that's good too.
Do it very loudly.
Yes, make a lot of noise when you fight these things.
She sort of, you see her kind of like, she's standing there. She kind of realizes that maybe she's gonna sort of see the subroutines going in this sort of like primitive intelligence, realizing that she's probably gonna be there for a while. So you see her kind of lumber down and boom, sits heavily down on the ground, completely squishing out the Sahuagin that Donatello anime slashed in half.
No.
It's
Oh.
all over. She's just sitting in it, crossing
Oh,
Also, Pump 6, I think occasionally the cuttlefish, if they get hungry, these bodies can be used to feed them.
your body.
No, these dead ones, the dead ones, right here, these fish people.
Dead bodies feed cuttlefish.
Yes.
Always? All dead bodies?
Just these three.
just these three.
You better put this in code.
Two bodies? She's looking around. She doesn't see the third.
Oh, it's underneath you, Pump 6. You're squishing it a little.
If dead Sahuagin feed cuttlefish.
If dead Sahuagin feed cuttlefish. You see, she's looking at you very gratefully, Isabeau. You're speaking her language. Everyone else is confusing her with very big ideas. She gets it. If dead Sahuagin feed cuttlefish, and she goes and she peels one of them basically off of her gigantic golem coral ass, tosses it in the cuttlefish thing, and they just go insane. They're like tearing each other apart. They're like kind of like sharks, you know, whenever they go into a frenzy, they're tearing off bits of each other. They go crazy in there, and the blood settles to the bottom of the tank. And again, the males and females drift to, well, again, the males sort of stay where they are, and the females drift to the opposite
Oh
side.
yeah, we're gonna try to figure out how to get them to fall in love, but
Isabeau smiles at the cuttlefish, and the smile actually meets her eyes
Oh.
when they're eating. Very good, Pump 6. And don't you worry, I shall police the crying now.
Oh, don't cry. Don't worry.
There will be no crying while I am in charge.
Crying, don't worry. Looks very satisfied. She seems to like the new leadership.
Very good, very good. I have the muscle well in hand. So, our next mission is to
Get coffee.
Who was in here? We have like something very funky is going on with this explosion, and
Well,
who was
need to
in
go-
here when the room exploded?
perhaps we will solve it with caffeine.
At any point, do I get to, since I'm one-on-one with
Oh yeah, we can switch to that really quickly. Okay, so you I guess we can do that. So yeah, you go up to the you walk with Tabitha to the mess hall. She goes around, everyone's gathered around.
well, I was hoping to come for information before we got to the mess hall.
Okay.
Okay, so I grab her hand. I say, "We are now alone, fair Tabitha." I kiss her hand. I'm like, "Tell me your woes." Who is this water dweller that could not handle it as you were able to?
Okay. You see, roll me one more persuasion check, and I'm gonna say the DC on this, just so you know, is really high. It's just a flat check.
Okay. So it's an 8 without the adding, and this is persuasion, so 14.
Yeah, you see, she goes, if you were down here for longer, if there was more time, but there's no time right now. I'm sorry.
Okay.
And walks into the general room.
Okay.
I'm gonna say then, just like for the sake of brevity, that you guys can all basically join each other up at the same place, because now you're all headed towards the mess hall. So you're headed in just as Tabitha is making the announcement to everyone, basically that the whole facility has been compromised and there's no way out. You guys all together walk into the mess hall. So as you're walking into the mess hall, you see a small room with a series of cabinets to the side. There's a long, narrow table in the center, about 10 to 15 chairs aligned along the table. Some of the researchers are wearing lab coats, but most of them are in pretty simple tunics, trousers. Behind them is sort of like a general kitchen area. Has cabinets, appear to be for files and things like that. There's not very many people sitting in this room. The people who are looking at you are like, there's a water genasi, a sort of like a full-figured water genasi with blue hair, and there is an extremely pale elf, and then there are 2 little halflings sitting at the table, just having a conversation among themselves. The halflings look pretty disturbed by the news, as does the water genasi less so, for the very understandable reason that a water genasi is maybe a little bit less mortally in fear for her life if there is some sort of flooding situation. The drow looks thoughtful, and they all sort of regard you guys as you come in, as you walk in and Tabitha is delivering this news. What are you guys doing?
Well, I proceed to go get my coffee that was made before we exited for the battle.
Okay. Yeah, there is now a pot of coffee on the thing. Probably cold, but it's there. There's a full pot of coffee there.
I pour myself a cup and sip it and kind of grimace and shrug and go and sit down.
Okay.
Do I notice the necklace? Is someone wearing it, or is it in someone's pocket?
Oh, I don't know. What have you guys done with the necklace?
Really, Ting had asked,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Ting will be like, "Oh, there you are, Coriolanus. You are someone that associates with other undersea creatures. Have you seen this symbol before?" And they'll pull up the symbol on the necklace.
And Coriolanus, go ahead and you can roll me a history check as well. Was gonna say with advantage, but I your people were pretty like reclusive, right?
I mean, it was like, I mean, we knew stuff. We had like colleges and stuff, but but it's not a big city. Yeah.
Yeah. in terms of your interaction with the Sahuagin, yeah, I can say with advantage. Go ahead and roll the history check with advantage or religion check with advantage.
So once again, that's just the highest of 2 rolls, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Exactly.
Oh, okay, that's good. This is history.
Religion.
Oh, religion. Okay, so 20.
Okay. Yeah, you recognize it immediately. You've had dealings with it. This is the Sahuagin goddess Umberly. She does indeed require sacrifices, specifically not just any sacrifices, but sacrifices of mammalian or just generally like not mammalian, but land dwelling things. So for example, a Triton would not be a sufficient sacrifice to Umberly. A sea elf would not be a sufficient sacrifice to Umberly. Neither would a water genasi, but a little deep gnome, big old dragonborn, all those fair game.
Okay. So I don't know what to do with that, but then I guess Coriolanus would go up to the thoughtful looking drow.
Would you tell us about that or no?
Oh, I thought you was saying. I thought you was saying what I was saying.
No,
Okay. Yes. So I tell everyone this, and everyone looks at me or whatever. I tell you, I'll tell you this. I say, okay. So I say, Coriolanus, as I am Coriolanus and know all things water related, I will bestow my knowledge upon you, simple folk, and I will tell you. Blah 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 blah.
Lottie, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, that's exactly. And
So it looks like they
It's
could
very
have been-
disturbing.
This is the first time. Well, I suppose Isabel, do you know, is this the first time the Sahuagin have raided? I'm wondering if they were looking for sacrifices.
Were you asking?
Isabel.
Would I know of any attacks on the facility by the Sahuagin?
Roll me another apathy.
I would care about this. I feel like I should get advantage with this one. My life is in danger. My life. Oh, that's a 19.
Okay, yeah. The Sahuagin, in the whole time that you have been there have not been any raids on the facility like this.
Okay.
In fact, there have been on a 19. On a 19, you have a little bit of awareness of the movement of the Sahuagin in this area, sort of in general. You were told when you were coming to the facility, initially that, and this was, when you were contemplating it, like at least a year or two ago, that Sahuagin were rampant in that area. But you've actually noticed since you've been down there, you haven't seen a lot of Sahuagin in the waters around lately. If anything, it seems like there were maybe some scattered Sahuagin that you would see in the waters, or sometimes there would be a scare. It seems like there have been less of them as time has gone on. So now where they're a rarity, it's very shocking to see a Sahuagin around this area, around the facility.
Okay. I share that with everyone.
So I have a question for you, Coriolanus or Isabeau. Is there somebody that would be working in collaboration with the Sahuagin? Do they have friends under the sea that may be inside this facility?
As Coriolanus, do I roll anything? I was about to ask Tabitha, since she was there from the beginning.
Yeah, you could roll me a if the question is just like, do you know of like people who are generally the
sympathetic,
the allies or sympathetic to the Sahuagins? I would say
to the god.
You don't have to even roll for that. You know, the Tritons have some interaction with the Sahuagin, but basically other than that, there's nobody that they would really have any interactions with. they are notoriously insular towards their own kind, and that violent towards other kinds. They're also just not super, they're not like generally, an educated group, in the sense that they don't like, seek out higher learning, and they don't attempt to mingle with anyone on land. They keep to themselves.
So when you say they're insular with that like each individual group is insular from other Sahuagin groups?
No, I'm sorry. I just mean that the Sahuagin in general don't take any interest in other sapient races.
Got it. Okay.
So would I have, when I was saving everyone, would I have seen, is there any chance that I would have seen the Sahuagin notice like, oh, mammals are going down?
Go ahead and make, I guess like an intelligence check.
Ooh, that's bad. Sorry, guys. Where is that? Ooh, that's just a 5.
Okay, yeah, you didn't see anything. It was
Okay.
in the rush of the moment. You didn't see anything. I will say, by the way, Anara, I'm sorry that I didn't say this earlier. When you were asking Dr. Ferris about research possibilities, he pointed out a couple of books that might be useful to you. He gave you the names of those books, so when at a time that you would maybe want to, and he recommended one that he thought that you might just enjoy, even though he has no reason to think that.
Is it
have
one
to do
that
with
he wrote?
bathypelagic cephalopods.
Okay, so the first book that he recommended to you for your questions about Oromite was actually a book called Sahuagins, an ichthyoanthropological study.
Anthropology.
And that was the response to a question on Oromite?
Yes.
Interesting.
What he told you, and I can't remember if I said this in the conversation, was that there are a lot of these kind of abandoned facilities all across the bottom of the sea. This is one of the few that's been refurbished for like land dweller use. But generally speaking, the Sahuagin actually, even though they didn't make these facilities and it appears to be very ancient technology, the Sahuagin travel in and out of these facilities just they kind of hijack
Oh
them
no, that's even worse. They're familiar with them.
just by nature of the fact that they're land, they're underwater dwellers, and that's, this stuff is where they are. He also recommended a book to you called Abyssopelagic Gods.
Okay.
Abyssopelagic Gods, an anthropological survey of the gods of the various depths, including Bullet, the Old One, Umberly, Valkur, and Deep Sashalas. That's all on the front. That's all on the cover. The last one that he recommended to you, and he didn't give a reason for this one, was Bristlemouths of the Amber Sea.
He just said he thought I'd like it.
He said it's so good.
Did the rest of us hear him mention these books, even though he was talking to Anara?
Yeah, you could have all heard it.
Okay, so I'm definitely going to be hitting up the library. Maybe not right now. I think once we get some more.
I think I'll sit down and talk to one of the people at the table.
Okay. Who are you talking to? Everyone around. So there's a very, very pale elf. There are 2 kind of really scared and upset looking little halflings. And there is another water genasi like Tath. Although unlike Tath, she is not wearing the world's stupidest hat. I just cannot stress enough how fucking stupid Tath's hat is. She's wearing it right now. You're looking at it. You're like, so fucking stupid.
Well, let's go talk to, I want to go talk to the elf.
Okay.
So I sit next to the elf and say, well, good evening. My name is Tweedley, and who would you be?
Your name is Tweedly.
Yes, it is.
Your parents had a baby. Your mother bore a child. She gave birth to that child and she looked at it, cradling this beloved things in her arms. And she said, we're going to call it Tweedly.
I'm going to get up and go talk to the water genasi.
I pass by his chair as Tweedly gets up and I say lowly, because Krang is such an elegant name.
Krang is a beautiful name. Krang is a cultural name. It goes back generation. My father was a Krang. My father's father was a Krang. My father's father's father, his name was actually Peter, but that has nothing to do with sort of you can see he's very flustered.
I go and make myself a sandwich.
Okay. Yeah, there's not like a lot of like cool food options around here. The mess hall smells distinctly of fish, obviously. Everything in this place. So there's just to give you a sense of the stressful environment you're in. The walls are so low. It's so stressful. Everybody is so tense. And the whole place smells like fish. And there's barely any light. There's just like, mage lights all like lining the facility.
I have the light cantrip. Is the fish canned or fresh?
There's both canned and fresh fish available.
Okay.
So you go ahead and you can make yourself a sandwich with fish and a bread, a faintly greenish, and in some places purple bread. It appears to have been the bread is made out of like kelp, because that's like the grain that they keep down here. But it's not that bad.
Well, Ting will sit with the two very nervous-looking gnomes, and will say,
halflings,
halflings, and say, I can't help but see that you two look quite anxious. I'm just wondering what has you all up in nerves.
You see, there's two gnomes, or two halflings sitting in front of you. One of them is younger. He has brown hair, sort of a full face, freckles across his nose. The other halfling is an older woman. She's wearing a lab coat. She's got white hair pulled back into a ponytail. And the younger one goes, well, oh gosh, we're just like really concerned that we're gonna die here, just die here. With these terrible people in this smelly place.
Oh, that is terrible. I just try to calm them a little bit and says, oh, this sounds challenging for you. Have you been here long, or is this a new environment for you?
Yeah, I've been here. Sorry, I've been here 6 months. I've been here 6 months.
6 months.
She's been here. The older woman, she's keeping it together a little bit more. She goes, I've been here for
4 months. Oh, that's not terribly long at all. I'm just is today an unusual day, or is this business as usual around here? Like with the Swagan attack.
Oh, you can see that the younger one goes, nothing like this has ever happened before. We thought that it was safe. Obviously, it was like very upsetting to be here because Kath is really horrible, and she's super mean to me, and she makes me cry a lot, and then Pump 6 wakes me up and takes me to
crying. Yeah. Ting will just kind of like lay a wing around this. Says, oh no, not right now. No. I just try to stroke.
No crying.
No crying. Yeah. Let's calm down. I'm doing this very much like how I help my toddler to try to not cry. Like, okay, let's. So breathe, deep breaths in, out, in, out. We're okay. You're okay.
Please, no crying. We've got the
Yeah,
crying
no,
monster.
no. Do you need a hug? Would a hug help? Do you like hugs, or is that something you're into? Okay. Well, I have very nice
Oh,
wings.
he just like
Yes.
throws himself into
Oh,
your
yes,
breast.
Oh,
they're
no.
there. They're there. You're fine. You're fine. It's okay.
All like muffled into your thing. It smells so nice.
Oh, yes, I do smell nice. It's true. You can enjoy it. Enjoy it. I use a very nice sea salt spray sort of cologne. It's very expensive. You may enjoy it as much as you like.
Your feathers are so soft and shiny.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's why I don't like to get them wet. Yes, they are nice. It's special oil. So what young one, what is your name?
You see, sort of pulls back and he goes, Ederic.
Ederic. Oh, what a nice name for a very nice young man. Nice man. I'm very bad at genders.
Yeah, I'm a boy.
Okay. Oh, good. Okay, good. I'm glad I guessed it right.
Without turning around, Isabeau says, "Cease your crying.
No, he's not. He's fine, right? Ederic, you're fine. Breathe.
There is a
breath.
moratorium on crying."
No, breaths, Ederic. You're fine. See, would you like to smell the feathers again? Will that help?
I smell the feathers. I'm sorry, Isabeau.
It's okay. And you beautiful young lady? Your companion here?
Bingo. I'm not young though.
Oh, well, you look great.
You're 1 for 2. Yes.
Okay. Well, what is your name?
My name is Glarelith.
Glare.
I've been down here a little bit longer. I won't lie to you. I'm also pretty upset about this. I don't understand what the plan is. How we're going to get out of here. The Oromite gate is broken. Ferris's useless niece broke it. And
We heard him mention that. Who is his niece?
She's this horrible fail son that got sent down here to just do nothing useful in the lab, and just she's obnoxious and she's useless, and you see Ederic goes, she's kind of mean too.
Oh no, Ederic, happy thoughts. What makes you happy, Eric? Just think about those. My feathers, they're have you noticed how they have a nice like blue sheen to them? Focus on that.
They're iridescent.
Yes, yes, enjoy that. Focus on that.
They're so nacreous.
Thank you. Yes. I'll continue to just kind of stroke him and focus on Glarelith. Dr. Ferris's niece, who, doesn't sound like the nicest. What is her name?
Okay, so here's the thing. Sometimes when you're naming characters, you accidentally name them too similarly to each other. And then what happens is you go into OneNote to find and replace, and it turns out there's no find and replace function in OneNote. And this name is all over. So her name is Neris, which means that her first and last name is Neris Ferris. So we're just gonna say that's a naming convention in their family. Everybody has some version.
So what's Dr. Ferris's first name?
Barris. His name
Barris.
is Ferris.
Wonderful.
Neris's mother's name is Maris. Have an uncle named David Sedaris. Yeah, her name is Neris. She's probably just napping with the cots right now, but I wouldn't recommend speaking to her. I mean, I don't know what use she could possibly be.
Oh, of course. I'm just trying to get, an understanding of all the people and everything going on here, of course. Nurse, is she the most recent addition to your interesting little clan here, or is there other people that are newer?
Oh, man, when did Isabeau get here? Isabeau, I don't remember. When did your character get here?
Oh, well, Isabeau aside, of course, Isabeau is a wonderful, incredibly capable young woman. I'm wondering about other people that we haven't had an opportunity to meet yet.
I guess the newest one to the facility other than that would be Ederic.
Oh, Ederic. Oh, well, he seems like a nice, calm young man.
Yeah, I wish I hadn't come here.
Oh, okay, well, so has Neris been here a while then? Is Neris more newer than you, older than you? How long has Neris been here?
She probably got here around the same time as me. She's been nothing but useless ever since. She smokes all around the facility. It's like very close corners. I don't know what she's smoking. I know that it's extremely pungent. She's super obnoxious. She clips her toenails on the table, and they're like orc
That
toenails.
is awful.
They're really thick and like horny, like cutaneous. You know what I mean?
Well, I do have claws, so let's not get too, prejudice about that.
Would you clip them on the
Of
table?
course not. But let's not be, attacking the type of
No
claws
body
or
shame.
Yeah, let's not body shame.
Does Dr. Ferris know that she's smoking?
Dr. Ferris. For Isabeau, I think probably you would know Dr. Ferris well enough to know that he just got saddled with this kid. He doesn't give a shit what she does. He doesn't care at all. It's a favor to her mother to take her because she was causing too much trouble up on the surface, and he considers that Taft's part of the thing that he does is he shifts all the responsibility to actually running things to one of his students and lets them deal with those problems.
So you said, sorry, I think I missed it earlier. You said Ederic's been here for about 6 months, and how long has Glarelith?
Ederic has been here for 4 months. Glarelith has been here for 6.
Oh, okay, I got it backwards. Okay.
He's got murder mystery notes going on.
Yeah, we gotta figure out who exploded that gate, guys. It's very important.
Coriolanus talk to the Dro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what are you doing? Are you going in?
So I say, hello, Krang. I've heard your name you are from a fair lineage of Krangs. I too am from a fair lineage of Coriolanuses. It's also a fantastic name with much history. May we talk as equals?
Sure. What do you want to talk about?
Well, everyone else seems so scared to hear the news, but you seem so thoughtful. What are your feelings about this, handsome fellow?
See that he sort of looks at you thoughtfully.
Flex abs.
And he goes, "Are you trying to seduce him as well?"
No, I just feel like it doesn't hurt to
Butter him up.
Yeah.
It's just a reflex
standard grading
now.
procedure here with
Yeah, you see that he goes, "I'm terrified. I don't want to die. I'm so scared for my life."
That's sad. That's really sad. Well done to you, Crane. Coriolanus leaves. That was unhelpful.
I'm gonna go talk to Isabeau.
Hmm.
I'm gonna just come up heavily behind you because I go everywhere, I make noise, I'm not stealthy. And as you're making your sandwich, I'm just gonna sort of talk to your back and be like, so where is this gate facility with the cracked mineral that we're supposed to be looking at?
The material we need.
It's the long hallway at the top left corner. You see it?
Okay. Is it the one that leads off into
Yeah.
Nothing. Okay.
off screen.
It's in an abandoned part of the facility that has been inaccessible to us up to this point.
The broken gate where you should go to the surface.
Oh, the elevator?
Yeah, like the one that was broken by the niece.
Where is
Oh,
that?
that's a different place. That's the second thing that goes off screen. So that's the top right corner, not the left.
Mhm.
Is the piece with the
While
broken
they're
Ormite, is that
talking,
still
I
there?
walk over to fill my coffee up.
Okay, you go ahead. You are drinking more coffee.
And lurking within earshot.
Oh, okay. You're listening.
Was
Is
the
the-
broken Oromite left by the elevator?
Who are you asking?
You.
You gotta
Wait.
ask somebody.
Is Tabitha still in the kitchen?
Yeah, Tabitha's still there.
All right. I'm going to turn to her. Tabitha, are you aware if the broken Oromite was left at the elevator?
Yeah, I mean, we swept some of it up and put it in a pile to the side. It's probably just in a trash can, next to the elevator.
Great, let's go dumpster diving. I like grab her by the arm.
Oh,
Who?
well,
Grab who by the arm?
Tabitha.
Okay.
but before you storm off, just a quick question: how did it end up breaking,
Who are you asking?
Tabitha?
I
Before
They're really
Anara
looking at
drags
you
her
like
off?
the niece broke it.
Yeah, she broke it, but how? Like, just like she slammed into it? Was it an accident? Like, what? This is the only time this has happened? You'd think they'd safe prove it if it's the way out.
Honestly, I think that she was trying to get out. I think she doesn't want to be in here anymore. You'd have to ask her more specifically. As soon as it happened, it was more just focused on the realities of the situation. And then the storm happened right after. And then you guys are all here. We haven't had very much time to investigate or look into it.
How long ago did this happen?
2 or 3 days ago.
Oh, okay, recently.
Okay, Coriolanus follows Nera and Tabitha to go see the broken shard.
Okay, is everybody going?
I don't think Ting is gonna go. Ting wants to keep talking to people.
You guys love splitting the party. Okay.
It's great.
I'll go dumpster diving.
All right, who's going?
I'll go.
All right, maybe it's faster to say who's staying.
Ting is gonna stay.
Okay, Ting, just Ting.
Just
Okay, everybody goes up towards the that part of the facility. Let me bring it up. Okay. All right. So you have walked into this sort of open area. The actual gate that you're seeing before you appears to be kind of wrought iron, but it's very tight, finely welded iron. It looks incredibly powerful. And you see there's a huge place setting in the middle, somewhere that like maybe a jewel would go. It looks like it has kind of purple like shards in certain places. So what are you guys doing?
Can Coriolanus use men to put it all together?
You can certainly attempt to.
Okay. What am I rolling?
And I'm gonna say, let me look at the mending cantrip really quickly.
Yeah, so just a cantrip. You shouldn't have to roll anything. It's only small things, I think, and like
It's
it
supposed to
doesn't
be a
fix
foot.
magical objects.
Yeah, it's
So you
supposed
can't restore
the
magic.
magic. I can
unfortunately.
just okay.
Yeah, so you go ahead and you like sort of you can kind of like put it all like together, but you can see the lines and the breakage in there. It's not it doesn't appear to have any sort of like magical properties.
Okay.
I look at Coriolanus, I'm like, that's a cool trick. I mean, not super useful in this particular scenario, but I mean, maybe cool in other scenarios.
Everything I do is cool. But thank you, Nora.
I just roll my eyes so hard.
And then
Just
I
like-
wink at you. It's okay. I know you want me.
I look down from my like 6'2", and I just sort of say, "You're not my type." And I'm gonna turn my attention to the object, and I'm what I'm trying to do, DM, is I'm trying to commit it to memory. And I mean, if I could even take like a piece of it, that would be great, because I want to use it as a locate object focus later.
Oh, you're trying to locate object on the. Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah.
I don't see any reason that you wouldn't be able to do that. Is that something you would usually roll for?
No, so what it is just you cast the spell, and there's some conditions. I'll put it in the chat. So that's the description overall of the spell. So I'm not going to cast it right now. Right now I'm just trying to become familiar with this so I can cast it later on.
Okay. All right, sounds good. Yeah, you can definitely do that.
Okay.
So yeah, you're all standing in front of it. Is there anything in particular that you've got? Does anyone else want
I
to do
want to
something?
do another investigation. I'm just gonna look around like the same area and see if I can see anything similar to the explosion that we saw at the floodgates, and if there's any kind of similarities at all.
And
Yeah, go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
Okay, this is not gonna get painful this time, but yeah, that's not good. That's an 11.
Trying to decide. Is anyone assisting? Is anyone else?
Yeah, I'll help.
yeah, me too. Everyone, I'll do it.
Okay, so let's say
I'm looking around too.
Give it one more
Okay,
roll.
I can do another. Okay. Okay, that's a 13.
Okay, that's a little bit better. Yeah, I would say that you can, you go ahead and you go up to the Oromite. You know, they already told you that they haven't had much time to examine this, because it's just kind of been a blur since the gate broke. That being said, and you haven't met Neris, this is a really tough metal gate, and like you're examining the iron. It appears like incredibly powerful architecture, and you're not sure how somebody could just accidentally bend it slightly to the side and then shatter a stone this big just sitting in the center of it. The metal around the place setting appears to be damaged, and it appears to be, again, sort of kind of bent or like melted out to the side.
I looked up at Isabeau and I'm like, Isabeau, is Neris perhaps like a half giant, like a Goliath, and no one's told us?
She is, I believe, a half orc.
Interesting. I look back at the wrought iron, I look at it and I'm like, do you think that she could have done that by accident? Because I'm pretty strong and I'd have a hard time doing that just by stumbling into it.
Even if she could physically, that's not really, for me, what's in question. What I would want to know is why. If your goal is to reach the surface, why would you damage the catalyst that gets you there?
Maybe that's not the goal.
Maybe she's working with the Sahuagin. Maybe there's something nefarious between them.
Coriolanus says, we must investigate this, Neris. Let us go.
Wait, right now.
We just got here.
Wait, is she in the facility or is she?
She's with the cots.
Yeah.
She's resting.
Isabeau, what do you know about Neris?
Oh, Glara left. had the right of it, she's useless and has questionable hygiene.
So not a lot is what you're saying. You don't know a lot.
Well, I know nepotism when I see it.
I mean, yeah. Same.
She's not my responsibility, so I couldn't give you an accounting of her activities in the facility. She does tend to be underfoot from time to time.
Was she a recent arrival to the facility? Or has she been here for a long time? You don't know. Never mind. I'm like looking at your face and I'm like,
I'm immediately like, damn.
I think that I said earlier that she showed up about like 6 months ago.
Sorry about that.
No worries. I was just saying it so that if in case anyone didn't catch it, that's knowledge you have.
Isn't 6 months ago whenever people started disappearing? Or has that just been the entire time?
Leaving. Were they disappearing or were they leaving?
I mean, they're saying that they're leaving, but it sounds a lot to me like they're disappearing.
They left without notice.
What?
Did they take their stuff?
I mean, there's so little here.
Go ahead and make me another, like, again, just for all of this, we're going to call them apathy rolls.
Yeah.
If you figured it out, if you found out.
Isabel's like, ooh, free stuff. 13.
Yeah, as far as you know, you don't remember any sort of like, big things lying around. You don't recall anyone's like big stashes of stuff lying around. It seems to make sense.
There wasn't a surplus of resources all of a sudden.
Is that way your way of saying that you think they took their stuff with them?
Yes.
Okay.
Is there a log of when people leave? I mean, is the gate controlled some electronic method that we can track who's come and gone?
Who are you asking? Are you just doing an investigation?
I'm asking Isabeau.
Oh, okay. Isabeau, there's no log.
This facility is considered a reclaimed resource. Almost everything about it is improvised. And as you've met the person in charge of that improvisation, Dr. Ferris, you can imagine there is not much tracking of anything. Quite advantageous when you're here for independent study, though.
Can Coriolanus sneak to the cot area since no one else seems interested in going?
Yeah, yeah, that sounds good. Okay, are you guys done here?
Well,
to figure out the timing on everyone's.
I mean, I feel like we are done. Like, it's everything that we've wanted to accomplish and seen in here, right? There's nothing else to really see. There's the gate. There's no other. It's just the gate, right? In the room. There's
I mean,
nothing
it doesn't help to have somebody else to investigate, right? One person's enough.
No, yeah, usually just like for the sake of making it, we like you can give one person and let them do the help.
Okay. All right. Then we've seen what we need to see.
Okay, where is everyone headed then?
I like Coriolanus's idea.
And Ting's plan was after they finished talking to the rest of the people in the room, they were going to head over to the cot area. So for brevity, they could meet
Okay.
there.
Ting, let's just jump back to you. Who are you still talking to?
I just wanted to sit at the table with everyone and ask their opinion about the people that have left, and in terms of like what they thought was going on with that.
Okay. Yeah, we'll say for the sake of brevity that you managed to figure out the most knowledgeable person about all of this is Glaralith, probably because she's the calmest one. And she can tell you that since she only really recalls the four most recent people who have left. The four most recent people who have left were a halfling named Astra, who Neris noticed getting up in the middle of the night. And then in the morning, she was just gone, her stuff with her. Quinn, who you already heard, got in a fight with Dr. Ferris, or at least Dr. Ferris seemed to be speaking to her pretty sternly. Make me I'm just gonna say roll a straight luck check. And if you want like a very high number on this.
I'm very good at rolling high numbers. I'm gonna guess a 15 is not super high.
Okay, yeah, all good. There's also Quinn. Petal is the one of the water genasi down there. Petal can tell you that she saw this conversation between Ferris and Quinn. She was the person who observed this conversation between Ferris and Quinn. Tath only heard about it secondhand. The other one who left was Rosh, a halfling. He was working in the lab in the middle of the day, and then he was just gone. Again, he didn't explain himself, but that seems to be the custom down here, that people just kind of jump ship. And then Barum, a human, who announced at dinner one day that this place was too depressing and that Tabitha was insufferable, and he wanted to leave. Roll me another luck check super quick.
It's even worse. I was sick.
Okay, all good. So yeah, that's all that you've learned. You did your Hercule Poirot bit over there.
And I just want to ask, like, has anyone heard, is this like, these 6 people, are they the first that have left in a while? Like, I know you guys have just showed up recently, within that same time frame, but did you hear about a lot of people leaving before this, or is this kind of a more recent occurrence?
People, Glaralith tells you that as long as she's been here, people have been filtering in and out fairly regularly, but 4 leaving basically in about the span of a month is a little bit more than usual. It seems a little stranger.
Okay, that's all.
Okay, is everyone making their way over to the cots? All 7 of you descending on Fornaris.
We're gonna gang up on her.
Okay. So everyone goes ahead.
But we're gonna go find our cots too.
I was gonna say it's also time for a nap.
Yeah, this is a good time to get ourselves settled.
All right. Sounds good. Yeah, some of you guys are still injured, and I don't know how your shape shifting works, Anara. You may or may not still be covered in just like a bunch of blood.
That's probably true, actually. I don't think it really bothers me. I think that's probably fairly normal, but yeah, it's probably not super fun for other people.
You're very lucky it wasn't on your finger, or
That's a good point.
Yeah, okay. So do you guys
Wait,
want to
sorry. So can Coriolanus use her prayer of healing? His prayer of healing?
You could if you want, but also, I mean, you guys could take a short rest if you wanted to, or you could take a long rest if you wanted to. It's probably been like kind of a long day.
I think Ting is ready for a long rest.
I was like, I could do it for a long rest.
Well, I was at 1 armor class point during that fight, so I definitely.
1 hit point. You had
1 hit point.
Yes.
1 hit point.
You're walking around like nearly dead. Luckily, this is like D&D logic, so you can walk around nearly dead. That's fine. It doesn't affect you. Okay, yeah. Do you guys want to talk to Neris before you take a long rest, or do you just want to?
Well, can we scope out? Is like Neris in like deep sleep or just hanging out? What's Neris's?
Yeah. Okay. So you guys walk into the cot room. It's just a really spare room along the biggest room really that you've seen in the facility, aside from the library where the ceiling are just so high. It's long. It's just a series of kind of uncomfortable looking beds. Two of the beds are behind a stop. No, sir. No. Two of the beds are behind a little like one of those folding, like the kind of like Japanese style room dividers that they have, those like beautiful carven room dividers. So two of those beds are behind those. Isabel, you know those beds belonged to Mino and Diala, the two water genasi who left to go get Oromite from Amber. And now will not have any way of getting back in. They were a couple, so they slept behind a partition. And yeah, the beds look pretty spare. They look pretty uncomfortable, except for, you notice one cot that appears to be two cots next to each other. Seems to have extra blankets, super fluffy. It's looking like a pretty luxurious setups, and that of course is Isabel's. Everyone else looks like they're roughing it, but Isabeau is having a nice time. And asleep on one of the beds, drooling slightly, you see a half-orc girl. She looks to be about 19 or 20. She's got green-gray skin, and she is small, but muscular, like stocky and muscular. She's wearing like a loose tunic, belted into trousers. She's got kind of messy, shaggy hair. Yeah, she's asleep. And there's like cigarette butts around her cot, like that have just been snubbed out. Her area is just a mess. She's fast asleep, drooling slightly.
I don't feel like we should wait. I feel like that's a bad first impression. Just to wake somebody up while they're dead asleep.
I agree. I feel like sleeping first, and maybe we'll wake up around the same time as her.
So
She's
is it nighttime? Are we in the middle of the day? What part of the?
You have no idea. I mean, you don't. It's complete darkness down here. There's no light that filters down. In fact, you're beginning to notice it, and it's beginning to like wear on you. That it just everywhere that you go basically looks like a dimly lit interior in the middle of the night.
Well, just for the record, it doesn't bother me. This is how I grew up.
No, that's true. It doesn't bother you.
I feel completely at home in this dingy, dark, small space. But I am getting tired. I sure could use a rest.
All right. Does everyone want to settle in for a long rest? I don't know. I know it's a little bit earlier, but also just on the side of like, it does seem like a long rest is maybe like a natural stopping place. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I think that's fair. I know I had a very, very long day on Zoom meetings today. So I'm not like cutting
I
out.
know you were consistently doing this until like
Yeah.
12:30 at night. Like, I feel like you have to be very on, and it's super fun, but it's also like by 11 p.m. I'm like, I'm fucking tired.
Yeah, I mean, this is past my bedtime, so.
Yeah, normally I'd be down for longer, but today was an unusually long day.
Yeah, well, honestly, I think probably for everyone, stopping between 11 and 11:30, because we have my mother here.
I go to bed at 8:30, guys. This is phenomenal for me.
We're very proud of you. Thank you for staying up so late.
Get off.
Yeah, it's
But
also different when it's great, but when we don't have combat, I think that we get a lot more.
It's true. The dialogue episodes I feel like can be a little shorter because you're still getting a bunch done.
Get a lot done. Exactly.
Yeah.
We got a lot done today.
Yeah. And hey, this will give me some time to figure out what kind of spells I want to prepare before I go to sleep so that I can be ready.
Yeah. So, like, everyone has time to I feel like I feel like everyone has time to. I feel like I keep info dumping, and I apologize. I need to find a better way to not info.
No,
dump.
it's good. No, don't apologize.
We need info. We don't know what the fuck is going on.
Okay, all right, good. Well, I had this I had the other session with a group, and I remember like finishing saying that, and everyone just stared at me like they had just like opened the page of a fantasy novel where it's like the first 3 chapters, and they're like, and then also the Toths live in blah blah blah, and they do this. Their society is structured this way, and you're like, shut up. When the characters talk to each other, scanning for dialogue.
No, I don't. I'm not feeling that way.
I'm not either.
You're not the first
No.
pages of Kushil's Dart. Okay, you've done good so far.
You mean all of Kushiel's Dart?
Okay,
I mean,
shut up,
that's the
Nikki.
whole book.
Shut up, Nick. That's not true. It's not true. You just have to
The
get
whole-
through the first.
The whole
100
book is either
No,
like
you
10 pages of sex or then 20 pages of
150
politics.
pages in.
Bro,
That's true.
I read
She's
so
right.
much nonfiction. I read judicial opinions. I've read so much legal shit. I read a book this thick about fucking salt. Kushil's Dart is fucking boring.
Everybody with that opinion just needs to be quiet. I can't talk to you. Absurd, ridiculous nonsense.
All right,
yeah.
so when's the next time?
Yeah, that's the question.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
good
Okay, do you
question.
need me to send you, if I do new spells, do you want me to make sure I update you on what those are going to be?
Yeah, what you're doing new spells? What?
Yeah, I'm a druid. They're like clerics. So you can just like meditate and then you can get new spells.
Oh, dope. Seriously, just that easily?
Yeah, it's like there's a couple classes that are just like super easy and they just literally have access to all of their spells and all they have to do is meditate for like an hour and they can get new
Oh.
ones.
Yeah, I guess if it's like an updated character sheet, you could send it to me just so I can like see, just
Is that all druids, Abby?
It's all like people who don't do like wizard spells or like sorcerers and like wizard sorcerers and warlocks I think have to do like learned spells where they don't
Yeah.
have that flexibility, but clerics and druids it's like a religious thing, so they have
I don't know
access to
about
their
sorcerers.
Oh,
I
this
don't
is
know
just
about sorcerers.
this is just to pick them, not recharge them.
Yeah, not to recharge them. It's literally
it.
just to like you can change out your spell
Yeah.
list.
Got it. Sorcerers, you're just stuck whatever spells you chose. You don't
Yeah,
get
I
to
mean,
choose
okay,
new
a
ones.
long list, but
That's fair. But yeah, I know for clerics, paladins, and druids, you can literally just pick from anything on the list as long as you take like an hour for each
Yeah.
spell to like swap it out.
That's nice.
yeah. So yeah, go ahead and send that to me. So I guess the next natural week would be like the 27th or the 28th.
that's Memorial Day.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm out of town. I've got a wedding to go to.
I'm moving that weekend.
Oh, nice.
All good reasons
Bless
not
you.
to do it.
How about the next weekend?
Is
Nope,
this your
we're-
first
we're in
session,
Nashville.
guys?
No,
This is our
is
second one.
Our second one. So we're in Nashville the 3rd and the 4th. And the
Oh
5th.
wow. So then we wouldn't be able to do it again until
10.
11th?
11.
The 11th, yeah.
So wait.
Yeah, that's good for me.
Yeah, we could do that. That's only 1, 2, 3, 4. That's actually a long time from now, but that works.
This always happens, I feel like. So.
Well, I was gonna
You're
say,
a
it's
natural, Kate.
summertime too. I mean, it's just gonna happen.
Kate's a natural storyteller.
Thank you. That's very
Yeah, isn't she good?
She has a great time doing it. It's
I don't think
cool.
this is something that we need to decide right now, but something I might also suggest for like the bigger campaign as we go back into it is if like we're only missing one person, perhaps they just take a really long nap. Like,
Yeah, we had talked about that last time. I think that's a good idea. I think probably for the one shot, it doesn't make a ton of sense.
yeah,
And also, I think my next couple of weeks are going to be a little bit stressful. So I think that, or not stressful, but I've just got stuff coming up. So it'll be
Yeah.
nice to have like a little bit of a break. But
that's
man,
something just to think about going
guys-
forward.
you guys are such a good group. This is so fun.
You're doing an awesome job, Kate. This
You
has
guys
been.
are,
Yeah, you're
you
doing
guys
great.
are so fun. This is genuinely like.
Is it just because we want to talk to your NPCs and figure out the
I know.
mystery? I
That's
feel
always
like
the
that's all it
problem.
is.
Like, yeah, I could go look at stuff, but I want to talk to your NPCs for another hour and a half.
Everyone is like fitting their own like niche. They're so good at, oh man, this is so exciting. All right, this is awesome. I was like, oh man, this is so cool. Okay.
Told you she's a natural. So are you going to be doing Fridays? Is that the general?
No, generally we do
Yeah.
Saturdays. It's just we couldn't do tomorrow, so we switched.
Ah,
Yeah,
Friday.
we usually do like every other week.
took me by surprise.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to
Alright.
bed.
How
Thanks,
you liking
everybody.
it,
Good
Lynn?
everyone.
Good night.
Gloria, I still love Coriolanus. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Good night,
I
guys.
just really love Isabeau.
Yeah.
So,
That's true. That's true. I think, yeah.
I can't choose. I like everyone's character so much. Okay.
I've
Everyone
never
else-
been so mean in my life.
But you're so good at it, Channing. It's like bringing out a natural talent in you.
like you've
Yeah,
got it.
maybe you would consider doing that more frequently. I mean, it's working, right?
It's almost like I repress.
Natural mean girl.
Oh, I love it.
She's supposed to be dark academia mean girl. That's her description.
I
It's
love
so good.
that.
It's
I
so
love
good.
it.
Works. Okay, for real. Good
Alright.
night. Good night, guys.
Night.
Night.
Bye.